to get your information. Total spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat cake, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? This one you bought today.
Spoon TV.
This one you bought today.
Spoon TV. Spoon Spoon entertainment.
Go to there. Go to there.
Total spoon to get
Yes,
your
I
information. Total spoon to be
A special one from the CEO, Stan coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
Total spoon to get your information. Total spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat cake, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. Klibaba, klibaba, klibaba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
School TV. School.
Yes, what you got today?
School.
Beseku.
School TV. School.
Ba. Skibidi dabado.
School TV. School entertainment.
Kua. Beseku, kua today. Kua today.
To the school. To get
Yes, what
your
you
information.
want?
To the school.
Stanton with the spoon, and your boy Friday the South Bend. Charges on the beat.
To the school. To get your information. To the school. To be part of our discussion. School television. School radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Fonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba.
Okay, folks across Liberia, we want to say welcome to all of you, just wherever you've joined from. Welcome to another great edition of the program Spoon Talk, here live on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, Super 95.5 FM, and of course on Facebook, Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, Super TV Live. We're on YouTube at Spoon Talk Live, and also you can catch us up on Super TV Channel 10. We want to say welcome to all of you across the world. It's great to be here. Tonight promises to be a very good one. My name is Nelson Colette. James Gude Flomo has joined us in the back end. Let me say good evening to you, James. It's great to have you on.
Yeah.
The chairman of the Core Money Arts Association.
Good evening, Chief. How you doing?
Yeah. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you. You hearing me?
Yeah, good.
Okay. I'm okay. God money me. Everything is
the
okay.
God Money Arts Association.
Yeah.
We can establish one movement. Call Money Arts movement.
Yeah. All right, Chief. Thank you. Okay. Let's welcome our lovely followers, and just to remind you again, tonight is going to be like a town hall event. It's just like last night, where you're going to have the opportunity to come on and speak on national issues that will be discussed, and also to speak your mind, like what's on your mind when the thing comes on. I just share the link, and we're going to share the link while we are waiting the CEO and his entire crew. You can also get through with that link, and you can have the chance to again appear on Spoon Talk and have your say. It is like a town hall event, right, Nelson,
Yeah.
where the followers will have the opportunity to come on and speak on some of the issues that the panelists are talking about, specifically issues pertaining about the politics, social economy, and you can name all. So you can get a link and start coming on while we are waiting the team. Maybe you can come ahead now while the team coming. You come and speak your mind for like 1-2 minutes. And when they come on, you continue just like that. It's going to continue until the entire show comes to an end. So Nelson, what's happening from back home?
Yeah. Yeah. The country is good. The country is good. Um, um, Everything is moving on. The tension, the whole tension we saw, with respect to this whole retire suffering thing. I think the tension has reduced a little more since the communication from the Ministry of Justice surfaced. So yeah, nobody behind anybody to say don't protest again. So
Hey Nelson, you
my
coming for a
man.
minute today. Hey Nelson, I don't want to you go tell that to you again.
Good evening, see you.
Nelson, you know what? I think for me, let me work on. Let me leave you alone, Nelson. I ain't gonna put myself in that situation. But let's welcome our folks because tonight, like James said, will be wonderful. We will be bringing everyone in to talk about this retire suffering, to talk about why other political parties distancing themselves from this retire suffering rally. We want to say to everyone it is important whether something about this thing, James. The people are tired of suffering, of course, but those of let's say the folks in the opposition, the messenger on this retire suffering rally, I think to me, James, I don't know. I think it's just not going down well. Delon will not attend, Yombly not attending, Joseph Barker will not attend. I heard that Musa Bility is not attending. And that's a big one because Musa Bility is the chairman of CPP. I heard that Musa Bility will be in Nimba County on that day, except worrying. And I heard that Wade Power really thinking not to attend. And then I begin to wonder, Wade Power too? Musa Bility? So to you, James, before I see the other guys then coming on, Kev Hassan is coming, Fagon, as if I will be coming out the second time on the show in a long time. But James, this imagine Musa Hassan Benitez saying I will be in Nimba County doing something. If it is true, that's what I'm hearing. I hope people so can tell him. But it's not funny, you know. Retired suffering and people they look at Tewan Gonglo say he's not showing face because he does not believe in the people that are organizing this thing. What's going on? People are suffering. Are some folks just playing on the mind of this retired suffering rally just to get some political traction? James, I'm saying that Bernard Barford is in the back. Share the link, join us. We'll be having a wonderful show today, a very cool, quiet Saturday here in eastern part of America. And you gotta park your car before we bring you in. Oh, you can't come on the show driving, my man. Yeah, you gotta park that car. We want no trouble. And, Bai Kalon said they are all punks. Hey, Bai, you're gonna call the people punks, and that's why they won't attend. I think this is the Bai I know from New Jersey over here that left and went to Minnesota. If it is him, but Bai saying that they are all punk. I don't know why. Bai, come on the show. Let's talk. The link is there. Come tell me why you think they are punk. because it is important. James, why these people are distancing themselves from this retired suffering? Why?
Uh, One, majority of them are not suffering. Some of those political leaders. So people who you really going to see out there are those adherents who are very close to politicians, or they are leaders. Those who are very close to them. You're going to see a couple of them out. And Chairman Bedete has a future in Nima County. He's not going to play with his future in Nima by attending one, maybe some may term it as mere radical
Oh,
attire.
no, James. That's his CPP. That's his party, James.
I'm
You
coming.
cannot say just no, James. You are very dangerous speaking. Sometimes we gotta hold you there. You cannot say that about ability though.
I already got information from within the CPP
What you
regarding the
have?
very protest.
What you have?
The information is this entire retire or attire suffering protest was put forth by Mr. Brown, and
Yeah.
Benete is not happy with it. Benete and his entire team, according to a very close supporter of Benete, who is working with Benete, eating with Benete every day. In fact, Benete ended up by telling most of them not to go, and some
So
of
you
them
are
took it.
confirming because I was waiting for the rest of the guys to have this show. You are
Yeah.
confirming what I just said because Benedict said he'll be in Nimba.
Yeah, that's why I said he has a future.
Benedict said
He's
he'll
not
be
going
in
to be
Nimba.
promoting Louis Brown. He don't want to promote Louis Brown.
Melvin Dishi says, CEO, please, if you can help, don't destroy. Come on the show, Melvin. Tell me how am I destroying what you have already destroyed? Come on the show, let's talk. No, nobody should hide a face. So this is Liberia. This is about Liberia. Don't say Jade. Come on the show, Melvin Dishi. But I want to say I heard what you just spoke about, James. Uh, the importance of Benedict himself not attending this rally. I don't know whether it is true, but this is like 80% confirmation that Benedict will not attend this rally.
Yeah.
Benedict didn't like the fact that Louis Brown decided to come up with that retired suffering. It's Louis Brown idea or Louis Brown, period. And Benedict didn't like that.
Yeah.
But go ahead, talk to us about your sources. What are they telling you
Yes,
about this
so
retired
like what I
suffering?
said, right? Most of them took it to social media yesterday, and they had to retrieve. At the end of the day, they had to retrieve. They had a meeting where they told them, if you guys start taking this to social media, it's going to bring disturbances to the rally. You all let them go ahead. Let Louis Brown show to the people that he's the real man. Even folks from within Cummings' office are not happy about it. So yeah,
From
they said it's
Cummings'
just going to be
office? From
from
Cummings'
Cummings'
office?
office, from within the ANC itself, not just the CPP, within the ANC itself, in the hierarchy, the leadership, the ladder of the leadership. And most people are not happy. They believe that Louis Brown wants to rebrand. It's a rebranding. He's redesigning his strategy. So they think that they don't want to be a part of
So,
rebranding.
so they just messed the whole retired suffering. That actually people are suffering in Liberia now. People are actually
Yeah,
suffering. But for you to have beyond that message and those faces and saying that you want to rebrand, you want to put yourself
yeah,
out there and say retired suffering, it's bad. That's
yeah.
dangerous. You're using the people to promote your own political gain. It's not about the people. I'm sorry, folks. Kel Hassan, listen to what James just said, and people are going to beat on James. But this we tire suffering. Rather, it's like people saying no, they are not. They're playing games.
In fact, just before Kev comes in, there was a meeting that was held, I think, about 4 days ago. No, 4 days before the announcement
Yeah,
of
I will take you off this set, or you get all the information you share with me. What were they picking?
4 days before the announcement of the retired suffering, there was this mass meeting, and they agreed that the protest should not be announced by ANC. They wanted it to be announced by a precious group.
Patrick, hold on. Patrick Kennedy is saying it was organized by Louis Brown and George Wisner. Patrick, come on the show, Patrick.
Patrick watching France game, he gets shake.
No, that French game, man, I game way back. That was one of them don't. But Kev, let me bring you in. The new development about retired suffering were organized by Louis Brown and George Wisner. Our friend and chairman Musa Benete, he didn't like the idea. He said he's going to be staying in Nimba County. He's not going to attend. Except now we have given the news he will show face, but he said he's not attending. This is embarrassment to the organizer, though.
I think some opposition members and within the ANC some of the hierarchy in the ANC who tried to play games with the Liberian people realized that the Liberian people are smart enough to know that Louis Brown tried to rebrand himself. James is right. We're hearing that too, that he using the communist platform to rebrand himself. And at this moment, the Liberian people are now buying that. When Louis Brown...
Kev, let me hold you ready. I beg you, Kev. I need to ask you this question. And I think we'll give Banner the time to speak because he's joining us. Folks, I'm a writer. You must come on the show. Your Christmas on me. You better get my Christmas. She said, "Oh, Christmas on me." You didn't know what you got. You better get my Christmas, sister. But Kev, let me hold you right there, yeah? Imagine the internal conflict that is boiling right now within CPP. They do not believe the messenger. It is true that people in Liberia are suffering. How serious it is that Musa Hassan Bedete, the chairman, is against the leader of Tim Cummins. Tewon Gonglo saying no. Darius DeLong saying no. Henry Pedro Costa saying no. Yombli Kanga Lawrence, I am not attending. Jose Yima Bwaka, I am not attending. Ben Ayure, no, I am not. So we leave all those other groups. Now we come into the inner cycle of the CPP, if there is any CPP. And they say, my man, you're on your own.
You see,
I'm hearing that they get buses all over to bring people. They're going to give them t-shirt, buy food.
Yeah, what they're doing is Martin is trying to truck people all around who they're paying, bring them to make the scene look like. But I was not a supporter of June 7. I didn't like June 7. I thought June 7 was based on a certain motive. But there was a face that they have, a united face on June 7 that attracted international media, and it carries some weight. But what we're seeing now, we're seeing people try to use, how can the former information minister of the last government saying people are suffering? It's a joke. You want to joke the people? You want to play with the people? We're talking about a man who begged George Manawia to give him job in Nigeria, to fire the ambassador.
No, hold on, okay. I know I'm going to come there with that thing by begging, brother. Let's keep to this subject for a minute, right? This is so standard. Are you saying people are not suffering? No, people are suffering in Liberia or Ghana. People are suffering. The messenger, the organizers. If somebody just walk up today and hold a placard and say, we tired suffering in Douala Market, you will find a lot of people coming to join that person. A natural person to say, listen, I want to bear hunger yesterday. My children are not in school. My mother was in the hospital. No treatment. I'm holding this because I'm tired of suffering. Then you get another person coming over. Then another person from Clariton, another person from Buchanan, somebody from Ganta. Then you say the people. But the organizer, the messenger, they are not suffering. They are not there to suffer. And that's what messed the message up. And folks need to understand. Don't you think they don't know that people tired of suffering? Don't you think he knows that? Don't you think that Yombli know that people in Buchanan, they are suffering, and she fighting? Don't you think Joseph Yeman Boaka, former VP, knows that people tired suffering? But the messenger, and that's what Tewan Gonglo said, he's not the right messenger for this message. So to you, my dear sister, all right, I hope you can come and join us, man. Let's have some good conversation. Let's bring in Barnett. Barnett Barford, how you doing? Where are you joining us from?
You mute my mic.
You good? We can hear you.
All right, thank you. I'm joining you from Des Moines, Iowa,
Iowa, talk
and
to us.
yeah, and I thank you so much. I am a loyal follower of the show. And I would tell you, I'm not going to spend a lot of time because some people have to come in the same way I did. But just to let you know, Stanton, yesterday was so hard and so embarrassing to look at the ANC folks on the show trying to defend the indefensible. The message is right, but the messenger is wrong. The man has a lot of baggage in politics. People, I know there's in Liberia, a lot of people are not. You will not find a clean person, but at least you got to make an effort if you are commies, to find and identify people you want to represent your campaign. People like Mr. Louis Brown. I mean, no malice against the old man, but you keep them in the back. You make them your consultants and keep them at bay. Even in the United States, sometimes even the president, Joe Biden, there are some people that are running in districts where Republican are more. They don't want liberal, guys to come and campaign for them, like in some states. You do these things because you don't want voters to suspect that you are in bed with these old school guys that ran Liberia into the ground. But before I leave, I'd like to ask a question, Stanton. For those of us that supporting the Gonglo campaign or that support other campaign, why you don't balance the show by bringing people to represent those campaigns, in the conversation? You have a lot of people from ANC, from UP, but
But I thought
Gonglo,
ANC that Gonglo party.
no, Gonglo, like no, like LPP, Council of Gonglo. I mean, we are the Gonglo people. We don't have a voice,
Listen,
so do
listen.
something about it.
I'm
The
the
old
owner.
man is
But
getting
listen
the
now.
old
But
man.
listen
No
now,
way.
brother.
All right,
Listen,
go ahead.
brother. Listen,
All
brother.
right.
Listen. I can take the phone right now and call Councilor Gonglo. The Spoon
Uh-huh.
Network is the only network that have a reporter embedded with Councilor Gonglo. I speak to
Yeah.
him all the time, and everywhere he goes, you find out a reporter with
Mhm.
him, free of charge. And
Free of charge.
I always
I
told,
mean,
listen,
on the show. On
listen,
the
brother,
show.
brother,
Uh,
listen,
Theo,
listen,
Theo,
brother,
Theo,
listen.
the
Hold
man
on,
on
Cap,
the
hold on,
show,
Cap,
the man on the
on, Cap,
show.
hold
No,
on, Cap.
wait, the man on the show. He talking about Gonglo. He there. So he representing
yeah,
Gonglo.
that I'm gonna leave right now. I'm about to leave because
Yeah, but
this
but
occasion
you talking about
others
Gonglo
have
right
to come in.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
listen,
but
Barnett,
Kev,
listen,
yeah.
Barnett, listen.
Uh,
That's the reason why we
uh,
can bring up because you don't listen. That Gongo there
okay.
stupid is setting for corruption. But listen to me, bro. Listen to this one. If you have anybody that want to
Uh,
join the show, it's not because they are from Gongo Party, but they want to contribute and speak about
mm,
what is happening. We'll be happy to have everyone and anyone from all political party. Okay, it's
all
open.
right.
Yeah, just come on like we always do and just identify yourself. We will speak to everyone
Mhm.
today and not only today. Bring them on. Go to my
All right.
papi.
Thank you.
I always talk to
Thank you so
Edith.
much.
I always talk to listen. I talk to Edith, I talk to Tewan, and I talk to the other brother in Pennsylvania. We are cool
All right.
and we get the right person on. Barnett,
All
thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for following
Thank you
Spoon,
so
man.
much. Enjoy the show. Yeah. Bye bye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kev, the man got to do an Uber job. The man a Uber driver. The man hustling. So don't get it, man. Hard time.
Yeah, but Theo, the reason a lot of people talking about the wrong uh, messenger, um, we're talking about Louis Brown, who actually begged the president for job in Nigeria. He begged the president. He wanted to be the ambassador in Nigeria.
if the president had given Louis Brown the job to be ambassador in Nigeria, will Louis Brown be organizing protests with tired suffering? He wanted a
Kev,
job.
Kev, Louis Brown begged for a job. Louis Brown said he didn't beg, right? Let's get this thing straight. It's about Louis Brown. Whether he will be having a protest today or not having a protest today, I want us to go back to what Tewon Gonglo said. Tewon Gonglo said if President George Manuel Weah offered Louis Brown a job today,
But
he would turn his
exactly,
back. He would turn his back on
exactly,
Mr. Cummings. So
exactly.
let's just forget about that other side of this thing
No,
on the
you
river.
know, no,
Let's
still,
talk
still,
about
still,
the
I
if
don't want
Louis
us.
Brown.
No, I
But
don't
hold
want
on
us
now,
to
Kev.
forget. No,
Kev, Kev,
still,
Kev, you don't, Kev, listen, Kev, you don't
relax.
forget about it. But listen now, don't forget about it, but I will forget about it. You can make
Yeah,
that
fine,
clear.
but let me speak about it
Yeah,
because I know I
yeah,
have a
but I say
family.
you don't want us to. You know.
Yeah, because I
I
know
mean,
I have a
who the other guy, Emma F. Portillo sleeping? Kev, you know this guy? You know this guy that coming on?
no,
No. Welcome to
no.
the Spoon Talk, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. See you. I'm
Good,
not
good,
sleeping.
good.
I just
Yeah, where are you joining us from?
I'm joining you from Puebla resident from
Puebla in
Puebla
Liberia.
supermarket. Puebla supermarket. Yeah, it's in Liberia.
Puebla supermarket,
Sittingville.
where? I thought Puebla is around Raleigh area.
But that's it now. It's really not in Nigeria. See you.
No, man, but let me understand the play now, but so man, but you bringing your host, you're chilling, but on the good side of the what's happening? Talk to us from your end.
No,
Your representative? Which district?
I'm in District 3. Honorable CB Bashir is our representative.
Okay, talk to us. What's your take on the situation? What's trending in Liberia? What's happening? What you like to talk about?
Frankly, I mean, I'm just looking at the controversy of the planned rally, as we call it, right? The intent is okay, but then the way the opposition force, which have been together to have this uh, rally, as they call it, successful, and they are now finding up other keys within the inner circle, and given the festive season is not really looking good, the truth remains that Liberians are suffering. Let's establish that. Even the ruling party can establish that. Even kept there, though he do defend, but it's just sometimes to say that Liberians are suffering. I mean, I wouldn't say that it is only under this government that Liberians are suffering, but the fact is Liberians are suffering.
If
And
election
to
was held
carry such
today, if
message,
election, so Emon, if election today election, you got four candidates. Just George Weah, Joseph Yema Boaka, Tewon Gonglo, Mr. Cummings. Who will you be voting for? If you're walking now to the ballot box to cast your ballot, who will you be voting for?
if I walk to the ballot box now, I will vote
Mm-hmm.
for Tawan.
You vote for Tewon Gonglo.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
Thank you for always
I
supporting us.
actually would have loved to vote for Joseph Boaka.
Okay.
But they my
But it's
doubt
okay.
is
I want to pause you a
up
minute because
to
I
this
want Kev
time.
to come in. I want to hold you there a minute. It's a good thing. Stand by. The link is out there. Everybody will be joining us. So it's good to have you. Okay. Thank you very much. As
Thank
always, thank you for following
thank you.
Spoon. Yeah. Kev, before we bring in, we got a lot of people logging in. They're going to be a wonderful show today. But the man saying the same thing you were saying, Kev. The messenger is bad. The operation that this thing was organized by Louis Brown and George Wisner is angering a lot of folks within CPP. There's a possibility we are hearing that Musa Bility will not show face. So talk to us.
Yeah, you see, we have to follow what the people saying, and some of us believe in the people. Uh, Even though if some of the people who saying something may not support the or support my political ideology, but if they are saying the messenger is bad, they know what they're saying, and let's allow the people to speak on that, because um, Liberians suffer too much. And some of the suffering of Liberian were created by men, not natural suffering. Some of us old enough to know Liberia was in a better place before 1989, December 24th. We don't need to cover it. We don't need to allow people to put the suffering on George Manuel Weah or this. We know the corporate, we know them. Let the people speak. Liberia was a better place before 1989, December 24th. And that's a fact. Let's speak about it. So when folks come on and say we tired suffering, that some of us know that this president's a job. We know that for fact. Because we know.
Okay.
And then you didn't get it. And then you can't say tired suffering. Are you suffering because you didn't get a job in Nigeria? And you try to use the Liberian people? And kudos. Let me say this to you, CEO. Kudos to folks from the Unity Party, folks from other party that say we have to come out and speak the truth. I will say today, kudos to them.
Yeah, but before you say kudos, if it is true, what we are hearing concerning ability, the chairman of CPP say, I will be in Nimba County. I will not be at that rally. That's a problem. If this story is confirmed, that's a serious problem. That Musa Hassan Bedete will not attend. Probably he's going to change his mind now. That if he would not attend this retired suffering rally, let me bring Mustafa and Zaza, Van and Leroy. We'll talk to them. Then we'll bring in the other group later on. It's the Spoon Talk. We'll tell you thanks a lot. If you want to join us, the link is over there. We will not speak for you. Come and speak for yourself. Just talk to us about this retired suffering issue. Then we'll go to other conversation later. Mustafa, thank you for joining us. Let me bring you in. Retired suffering. Are you suffering? I see that you are not. You're enjoying it. You look so happy right now.
Yeah, thank you, CEO. Yeah, CEO, before I proceed, I would like to make some clarity known to Kev Hassan. You see, what goes around comes around. The mentality of Liberian is still remain constant. We remember during the Erin Johnson-led government, when the CDC were opposition, the CDC led a lot of protests. And we saw it on the street of Monrovia, where they took Kirsty, took women on and moved her on the street. That was a complete insult to our women, mothers, and sisters, aunts of that nation. They are not seeing it. Let us be objective as a fellow Liberian. A tired suffering. Is it true that Liberians are not suffering? Is it true that underneath this leadership of President George Manuel Weah, Liberians are not undergoing more suffering? Let us look at the crosses of the rest. The government are not shooting in their lives. They continue to lie to the Liberian people, playing mockery out of the Liberian people. And then a political party coming up to name a protest, say, a tired suffering. Is it true that we are not suffering in Liberia, our people? Absolutely, they are.
So, Mustafa, let me hold you there. You're asking a good question, but let me ask you this question. Should a retired suffering rally be organized by a political party? Don't you think it would have been better that retired suffering be organized by the people for the people, by the people? Don't you think the message and the messenger was going
Yeah,
to be unique?
CEO, I think you are in an error. In the first place, you are defining democracy. Democracy is by the people and the people. The fact is that a political party is an opposition to the speaker.
Hold on. Retired
Yeah.
suffering is not that rally is not part of
Uh,
being a Democrat. So what
okay,
do you
let
mean
me proceed.
I'm defining democracy, brother?
Yeah, retired suffering.
Retired
Let me look at
suffering,
it.
the
Mhm.
retired suffering message is a good message, but the messenger, that's the argument. So you can continue.
Yes, I think for me, opposition is the government in waiting. Opposition has the right to put the national government, let's say, put fire on the feet of the national government. Whether it's a political party coming up with it, for me, I think it's the good messenger. Because an individual will not take the initiative to do that. The same CDC did in the past, it should be repeated. Even though
Why?
they never used the
My last question
aspirated.
to you. My last question to you.
Yeah.
Why is it that other opposition party not participated? Why is it
The
that
reason is
why
CEO,
is it that we are hearing that Costa, we're hearing that DeLon, Youngbley, the UP folks, ALP, and Tawan Gonglo, and now we're hearing that Musa Ability will be in Nimba. Why every
let me
one of
give you
them
an answer.
distancing
It's a
themselves?
very good question, and you're going to have a
Yeah,
very beautiful answer. The fact is that you saw the CPP when they were together because of power greed, who to bear the ticket, who going to be the political leader, they went to court, they shot themselves in their lives. So this time around, that gross insubordination remain intact, and therefore they will stand and avoid the other political party because of that. Are you with me?
Thank you very
Let me
much, my
come in,
dear
Cyril.
friend. Thank
Cyril,
you.
let me
Yeah,
Thank
come
you
in,
very
thank
much.
you.
Cyril.
Let me bring
Have
in,
a
let me
good
bring
one.
in, let me thank you very much, Mustafa.
Let me
It's
come
good
in.
to have
Oh
you
God,
always.
I
No,
wanna
no, no,
to.
talk record. We gotta bring the other people. Go ahead, make
Yeah,
your point,
I
Kev.
wish you could stay on. You know, education is one of the things in we need to have in Liberia. You make a brilliant point, CEO, about by the people, for the people. I disagree with the June 7. I disagree. But name me one person on the face of the June 7 that took part in the war. One person. The June 7 face was the Costa, the Dillon, the Ben Savvy. Those people are young people who took part. And they had the June 7 was all over. Right? I disagree with it, but the people came out, right? And CEO, how can what you said, CEO? How can a political party with a motive say we tire suffering? No, look around the world. Which
So
political?
let keep it straight because the guys are coming on, Kev. You know, these guys are sharing the program. They're telling the friends. I'm on spoon. I can see Eric and Zaza and Vanny now. They're feeling calling all the men and say, I'm on spoon. I about to talk. So that's a good thing. We're
Yeah,
gonna bring everybody on. So let's give everybody the 1 minute each. Let me go to Vanny. Vanny Lira Saki. Vanny Saki, my man, you always posting some stuff, texting some stuff over here. The last time I think I blocked you, but I have to unblock you again. So
Yes,
talk to us, Vanny.
I'll still black, I'll still black, bro.
Now, how you be blind? You be showing face, but maybe you are
But,
talking.
I don't know, I think black, yeah, you black me today. Like, yeah, I still black, still don't, man, you gotta go revisit our decision, bro.
I know you're not supposed to be talking to our sister then like that, but you gotta be nice to the women. But go ahead, talk to us, Vanny. Oh, we tired suffering rally. Let me say this to everyone coming on because if you cannot log in, just be patient. When we remove someone, and you will be able to come in because we can only take 10 at a time. Vanny, let me ask you a question. The messenger of the retired suffering, information reaching us. Musa Ability may probably not be in this thing. They just had a meeting 2-3 days ago talking about that retired suffering. The organizers are now scrambling among themselves, right? The only thing I elevated it because they got wasting 30 people can't get their money back. But the messenger on this retired suffering, it's not, people are not feeling like Delon say I won't be there. Tawan Gonglu, Yombly and her team, Costa saying no, this is not a rally. This is to project Cummings. ALP political leader Bernard Ure, Jose Yeman Bwaga. This is not the opposition. I mean, Ronnie, talk to us. Is that the kind of rally you think going to shake this government?
Thank you, my dear brother Stanton. Again, the reason I will always think different, act different, is because I'm independent. When I walk away from the CDC after 15 years, I decided to be independent because I wanted to have the opportunity to think different, act different. Let me be very honest. Stanton, we play politics too much for too long, and that's why our country is backward. I stated on numerous occasions that there is nothing we cannot achieve as a nation if nobody cares who takes the credit. Let me say to you, Mr. Wonderstone, you told me just yesterday, I listened to you, you said you are a young man who grew up in the church, and you know how to forgive and move on. And one thing I learned growing up was that it's not a messenger, but it's a message. Satan, if Satan passes by at your home tomorrow morning and say, I'm Satan, responsible for all the sin, but don't follow everything I'm doing and everything I'm asking you to do, because Jesus Christ is not the way to save you. Will you say you will not listen to the message because the messenger is Satan? Look, let me say
Yeah. You asked a good question. When a messenger is Satan, please, you should pass to your house, not my house.
Okay.
I don't want to say Satan.
Okay.
Nah.
No problem.
No,
No
man.
problem.
No, Vanny,
Okay,
nah.
no problem. I hope Satan can one day just pass through and inform me that all the things.
But don't call Satan to your house, by Becky. Don't call Satan to your house.
I'm just thinking later on the Satan. I'm seeing they just telling the show that not focus on the message and not the messenger. Because when people try to make their things about I'm back to Louis Brown, but I don't want to waste my time defending Louis Brown right now because I have everything that it takes to defend Louis Brown, because I know Louis Brown for myself. I live in China for children from all the world that are fighting the country. And I know Louis Brown. All what happened around is just pure propaganda to diffuse the rally. But let me say this to you, Mr. Waterspoon. I spent 15 years with the CDC. George, we are invited. He sat off to tow casket. He sat out at the US Embassy. We sat there in hunger strike when he was eating a hamburger and drinking anything else for many, for all the days were on strike. Let me say this, my brother. This is not about Louis Brown. This is not about the comics.
Well, let me ask you a question now, Saki. Saki, yeah. I know you are a fundamental sedition that just flipped. That's fine.
No,
oh, Saki.
Saki,
Saki, say stop the Tabata, man. Tabata. Let me ask you a question, Saki. Let me ask you a question now. Louis Brown, some within CPP themselves, they are angry. The manner in which this retired suffering rally kick off. And you know that. Tell the Liberian people tonight, if Chairman Musa Belete do not attend this rally, you think it's a problem for the very CPP?
Let me say this to you. I know Musa Hassan Belete. And Musa Hassan Belete mission in the CPP was one of the reasons why I fought and did everything to make sure that Joseph Boakai worked under the CPP, because I know what Musa Hassan Belete, his mission and what he's on. So I'm not surprised. I would never be surprised.
Wait. So what's his mission?
Look, stand up. Musa Hassan Belete is an agent of the CDC. He was.
I'm not going to take you away. I'm going to pause you. Just stay put, because now you are going on a very dangerous ground. I don't think you've been. I remember, stay put, Saki. I know you're going to be here because you're flip-flopper sedition, but we'll still keep you. Let me bring in Emmanuel. Emmanuel Zaza, talk to us, Emmanuel. How you doing? I hope you're not driving, sir.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
My children are disturbing, so I decided to come hide myself in the car.
I hope not how you can hide yourself from your wife, but talk to us.
It's the same hiding, no problem. Thank you, CEO. Thank you for having me. I have one question before I go to the other. I just want to talk to you small, please, CEO. You
Yes,
said
sir.
something very important certain time when you invited the most celebrated soccer star we had in our country, James Alensa Diba. You said you are going to like talk to your foundation so that you guys can start recruiting youth. Where are we on that project, please?
So you know what? I will call Salisa with asking. Oh man, let me that story before somebody get in bad water. Right?
Oh,
I
okay,
said,
okay,
yeah, let me that one. Salisa, my man, let leave it.
okay. So let me ask Vanny. CDC, we know CDC to be a protest-driven party. A CDC should come to you today and say, "Do not protest. Protest is not good." Will you listen? Vanisham, I'm asking. I mean, Vanisaki, I'm asking you. If CDC should come to you today and say, "Don't protest. Protest not good," will you listen to CDC?
I want to listen. I want to listen if the reason citizen asking me not to protest is genuine. Louis Brown is here with a fire suffering. Literally, Louis Brown.
Listen, don't eat up my time. Don't eat up my time.
We got to go to the man get last 15 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Emmanuel.
don't eat up my time. Just asking a simple question. I want you to understand, to enter the mind of people who are against Louis Brown. This is the man who was an advisor to the president who said, when your mother born you good, when your mother born you good, you should join the street. He was an advisor to the man. And the man took the radio and said, if your mother don't born you good, you should take the street. This is the man who is encouraging people to go in the street.
But who told you that? Who told you
that? Bunny, hold on back.
Bunny, it's not my time. Oh.
Hold on.
So, protest is good. Rally is good. But the point we are saying, even out here, I'm a supporter of Alexander Comey. But the mistake he's making, the point he put it in the front. Now I just give you an example of CDC. The CDC should come out and say, nobody should protest. Y'all LeBron said to them, no matter how good the point is, they pose CDC. For 12 years, you protest more than 500 times. Don't tell anybody about protest. No matter the point. Don't matter who listen to CDC and themselves, protest is not good. It's the same thing about Louis Brown. You can't put somebody in a position that will make people overlook your message.
Mr. Lawrence Carson, can we meet you, please? We'll bring you in. You're getting a feedback.
The message is good. The message is good. The message is really, really good. If I'm in Liberia, I will go to that rally. But the face of the message matters, my brother. Don't say that. You were all right.
What about the Louis Brown face matter to you? Louis Brown, George Wester, those guys, they are not suffering as a matter of fact. They are projecting an image. They are projecting something. So real quick,
let me get my point, sir. Number one, I just told you Louis Brown was part of an administration that said, if your man born you good, get in the street. Western was United Party. Today we're struggling to have rest in the country when they had the opportunity of producing rice for Liberia. When they had the opportunity of making roads for Liberia. When they had the opportunity of bringing pipe and water to Monrovia. When they had the opportunity of bringing electricity.
Our brother Emmanuel, thank you very much.
They want to be telling people what to do.
We're happy having you. Thank you, Emmanuel. Say hi to your family, my brother. Thanks a lot. Let me bring in Eric. Eric Robert, can you unmute Eric? Thanks for joining us. It's good to have you. This is the form of town hall, folks. James, can you share the link? We want as many folks. Just join us. Say what you have to say. Get out that we can bring another person in. Every Saturday we will be having this town hall because it's good for our country. I don't know any of these guys, but I'd like to hear from them. Eric Roberts, welcome to Spoon. Unmute yourself.
Hi, CEO.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's an opportunity to be on the Spoon this evening. I'm calling from South Jersey. I live in Violent, New Jersey. I'm from Bon County, Electoral District 5. My family live in Electoral District 3, which is the capital city of Bangor. I'm a frequent traveler. I go back home on a yearly basis. Just to save the time.
Remember, why you can't sit down one place, man? Why are you walking up and down for?
I'm at work, I try to look for the best spot. This entire retire suffering rally or protest, this is the thing about it. The face of this protest is one major problem. I was a teenager doing the theater administration. Theater administration, I was like probably 13, 14. There were things that happened. Some of us, those things that stay in our ear. At that time, it was Louis Bryan that had the country. They were running the administration. Things happened, we were little, but we remember. The only thing I got to say to the politicians in Liberia currently, Alexander Kumi, Joseph Yuma Boakai, if you guys want to take the leadership for a better Liberia, you have to deal with the right people. Secondly, the opposition not serious. Because the opposition is not serious, President George Manuel Weah will be re-elected. I'm a strong supporter of the Congress of CDC. I support the CDC. We agree things are not far currently in the country. The only way we're going to have changes to come to the country if the opposition were united, they come with a force, then they could unseat George Weah in 2023. But you remember Henry Costa is one of those that destroy the CPP. So I can tell you for free, if Alexander Kumi was even going to go as a running mate to Josiah Numa Boakai, and Josiah Numa Boakai win the election 2023, this is how the Unity Party will lead Liberia. They will kick the other people on the side, and they will just be after themselves. So because they are not united, Stanton, we are not happy of situation in Liberia. My family lives there.
Hold on 1 minute, Eric. Kev Hassan, listen, Kev. What we are seeing today is concerning. I'm not saying that unified force. Seriously, to say we're tired of suffering, we should go for it and say, yes, the messengers are the right people in place. The message is unique. It's something that Liberians themselves think that it's a good message, but the messengers are bad. The organizers they are trying to project something, project an image different from an opposition image. Kev, talk to me before I bring in Napoleon and Lawrence. Then we'll go back to Manage Strike. But Eric, thank you very much. I know you will come back on when we move to the next conversation. Thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you. See you.
Yeah.
Well, I always say this: the Liberians are one of the most smartest voters you can find in West Africa that I know. They are not stupid. They're smart. They understand when people come in for their own personal gain. They understand that Louis Brown is trying to rebrand himself, and they understand that when Mr. Cummings named the team Cummings, it was out of being desperate, that it went against his message, that doing the same thing over and over. So the people realize that the ANC is based on that CPP want to be based on nothing but that's fake. Just try to use what they wanted to do is Mr. Louis Brown is trying to rebrand himself and also try to use this to put Mr. Cummings on the stage to say, and people should understand Mr. Cummings tried to put an image to the international community that I, Mr. Cummings, got it. So what he's doing is he wants to use this protest or this rally that will elevate him then to show the international community that I do have an impact. But people realize that they try to just play games with the people. So people are rejecting it. I'm one of the things I'm so disappointed. But still, let me end this, please. One of the things I'm so disappointed that my brother here, Vani, is such a smart guy. We talk behind the scene. He's a very intelligent guy. He know the issue, but to to come on and want to be in this position, I think he know better. I know him. He know better than my mommy brother. He know better. To come and say Satan versus days versus that is like Louis Brown I wanted to ask you is like Louis Brown said the three Hebrews brother, he took them from the fire and put them in the lion's den to eat. So I don't know because I know the three Hebrew brother were from the fire. So he put them in the lion's
I
den.
don't think you lose right. It's a Bible.
Yeah,
Bible
how can you take the three?
brother.
How
But
can
let's
you
move on
take
real
them from
quick.
the fire and put them in the
Let me
lion's
bring in.
den? But basically, what you say, you take the
Let
Labrador
me bring in. Let me bring in. Mr. Lawrence, Napoleon, Pastor Roosevelt, and Josh Wheeler joining us. We're going to be bringing in Mr. Lawrence first. Then we'll go back to Vanish Saki because Vanish Saki got to leave for others to come on. We asking you, please. I see someone in the back. Just be very careful. We are on live. Sit up right. Just get in a good environment because I want to bring you in. I cannot because if your environment is not good, I'm looking at you. I will not bring you in. Mr. Lawrence, I'm saying Mr. Lawrence because I'm not saying your last name. But thank you for joining us, sir. Can you unmute? Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Lawrence? I am sorry, I cannot help you if you cannot. Let me bring in Napoleon. Napoleon Soso. Napoleon, can you unmute, please?
Good afternoon or good evening to all.
Good evening, good morning, good night. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yes, sir.
Stanton, thanks for having me. You know, we as Liberians, we always cry like cry babies. CDC and some of the past leaders that was in office in the past 12 years should not be telling us that Louis Brown is not good for this or his face, the face of this protest is not the rightful face. Why I'm saying this is that you have Joy Howard Taylor, who is the number 2 in command, who husband committed atrocity in Liberia. You have the Prince Johnson, who supported George Weah that brought him to office, that committed a lot of atrocity. And you have Siri Allen advising the CDC government. All those guys are embezzling Liberia money. And today you're telling me, let somebody show one picture with Louis Brown killing human being in Liberia. One picture. Or show one picture with Louis Brown having on a pistol. So I support this rally. It's about Liberia. And I pray that all Liberians should take it serious. And when it comes to the, let's say the UP, some of these guys from the UP that are trying to stay away, it's kind of worrisome because if you have Ome Boaka that been in government for 45 years, and Liberia, that time some of us was not born. And you see Liberia stay, going backward. We have to think, we need to start thinking about our kids. We Liberians, we don't think about the future of our children. We don't think about the future of our children. Ome Boaka has been in government for 45 years. So he failed the Liberian people. He should retire. We need a fresh face. CDC government or KEV don't have the moral to come and tell us who should head or protest in Liberia like Louis Brown. Darius DeLong, he betrayed the LP in the past. Darius DeLong, he's just a flip-flopper. He flip-flopped a lot. That Darius DeLong will tell people to not go in the street to protest for their children's future.
I'm going to hold you, Napoleon. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to pause you there because definitely I want to bring in, you saying something, I'll bring in the pastor and Josh Wheeler, but let's hear from Vani because he got to go. I got to bring somebody else in. Vani Psyche, listen to what Napoleon's saying. Your take.
Let me say thank you so much, Stella, for the opportunity. Let me say 2 things and leave. 1, focus on the message and not the messenger. 2, as soon as the opposition in the opposition community start to identify their main political opponent, they will start fighting each other. I'm tired of talking behind the scene. I've done so much. Cummings is not my opponent. Gongola is not my opponent. The main political opponent who I don't want to see around the executive marshal in 2020, after 2023 is just real. Stop undermining each other. In every election, identify your main political opponent and go after them. Stop attacking people that
Who are
you
you
would
supporting, Vani Sharma?
I
Among those that are running against John Ware, who are you supporting?
strongly support Joseph Newman Boaka for the presidency. I will never, ever.
Can Joseph Newman Boaka, Vani, can Joseph Newman Boaka win this election without coming as number 2?
That is why I will build a solid relationship with friendly political opponents.
Can Joseph Newman Boaka win this election without coming as number 2?
That is why I will continue to ask Joseph Boaka and everyone who supports Joseph Boaka to build a solid relationship with friendly political opponents and direct our
Vani Saki, can Joseph Newman Boaka win the election without comments?
I will continue to support a friendly relationship with all the other opposition.
Can Joseph Newman Boaka win the election without comments as number 2?
We will work together to make sure our target remains
just. You are not answering the question, and that's exactly why the opposition will be opposition of no substance.
They will come together.
You are failing to answer a simple question. Support Joseph Newman Boaka. Vani, you should support Joseph Newman Boaka, but you cannot speak truth to power tonight. You know he cannot beat George Manneh as Joseph Newman Boaka. The Liberians are calling for a unified party. Joseph Boaka Cummings. Do you support that ticket? Are you pushing? Are you working towards that ticket?
Mr. Wallace, I'll state that consistently. There will be no point in our history where all the opposition political parties will come together to go against the incumbent. But one thing I know, at a designated time, they will come together just as they came together in 2017.
I like the fact that you always follow school. I will try to unblock you tomorrow and black you Monday. I like that. Have a good night. Let me bring in Josh. You're welcome, sir. Georgie, what's up, man? Unmute yourself, Josh Weeder. Before we go to the pastor, unmute yourself. Let's hear you. You look at Napoleon saying, I'm not going to call the crew war tabata, but man making some very strong point. Vani is afraid to even put a party ticket together. Then they're talking about opposition and we tire suffering rally. Let's hear you, Georgie. Talk to us.
Yo, thank you very much for having me. And I couldn't resist this, even though I'm very busy, but I decided to pop in. I just want to thank you for the time. I'll definitely show that this political rally, because that's how I call it, because CDC has done same. The only difference is that the CPP are not going to their headquarters to rally there. They are getting on partially on the street to do that. But I think it's just a mad, political rally to show force, like my brother Kemba always said. They just want to show that they got numbers and they're trying to fight people. And there's one thing I want to mention quickly before I go, CEO, is that people are saying don't focus on the messenger, focus on the message. I think that is wrong. Traditionally is wrong, and every other dimension is wrong. Because if you are a Liberian, you might be familiar with.
Well, his internet went off. All right, we hope to get George back. Pastor, let's bring you. Okay, he's back. Go ahead, Georgie.
Yeah, to say if a Christian man come to the town and say war is coming, they say you observe that a lot of people will die when the war comes because nobody listens to that Christian man. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. And we are not saying this in the context of Liberia. We are saying in the context of how the message is being portrayed to the people. That means a lot of people will not come out. A lot of people will not want to buy the idea of what this guy is saying, because we know that we all have been suffering in Liberia. We suffer. My mother used to go to Benwan from Pliwo every time to get cassava and plantain just for us to eat and also send us to school. We did all that. We did not go in the streets. We became successful by hard work. And I think hard work is the only thing, that Barack Obama said, if you work hard, there is a place for you in America. So Liberia, if you work hard, if you do what is right, there is a place for you in the elite of Liberia. And that's what I want to say. I want to thank you very much for having me, CEO.
Thank you very much, Georgie. Thank you. And then drive safe, my brother. Thanks for joining us. Yes, sir. What's the pastor? Pastor Roosevelt Thomas. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, let me ask a question quick, yeah?
Yes, go ahead.
Let me ask a question
Georgie.
quick.
Go ahead.
To
Napoleon. Let me ask you a quick question. August 22, 2008. I want you to go straight to the point. Don't don't beat around the bush. Louis Brown said he said MPFL was a blessing to Liberia. You buy that? 2000 and August 22nd, 2008. You buy that? Straight to
Is a question to me?
yeah. You buy that?
I'm now going to accept. I see the article and I listen to Louis Brown himself, but not from you, Kev.
Okay, so let's move on.
Okay. You must say you want to see the article before you.
Yeah, look what two.
All right. So I bring in Pastor Roosevelt Clark Thomas.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Stanton. Thanks. It's wonderful to be with you again for the second time, and I think it's going to be my last time. Yeah, we are kind of talking about the country, discussing about the country, but we are forgetting the most significant thing. It's not about politics. It's not about religion. It's not about what they can have right now, what a rally or not. It's not even about the election. It's about future. And that's why we are not really getting. Was 0467 and people that destroy for the lack of knowledge. So I believe every one of us as Liberian, whether you're a spiritual person or not, a politician or not, if we understand that what we are doing right now is going to determine the life of our future generation for the next 100 or so years, we will be very sincere, very honest, and very critical to make decisions, because every decision you make in life, there's a repercussion attached to it, either good or bad. Every decision. And life have a principle. That's the thing about it. Because we have not understand it. We do not have the knowledge that God wants us to have. We do not have the knowledge to secure our children's future, to secure our country. Look at our country. How old is it? And we are still dangling over things. Look at how far we have come. And even the thing about it, what I really wanted to say, whatever decision we make in Liberia is going to affect everyone in the diaspora, because we all have family. And if the country is not in good shape, those in the diaspora are never going to have peace of mind. Trust me, everyone can experience that.
See you.
Hold on 1 minute. Let you finish. Hold on 1 minute.
So we have to understand exactly what is it we want for our children, what is it we want for our family, what is it we want for the next 50 or 60 years before we can make a decision. That's my take on it. Now, and I'm not going to join again, sorry to say, but it's just something I was thinking on and say, I really have to say this. We have to make a very critical decision.
Pastor, I want the pastor to be on the line. I want everybody on this platform, all the guests, to speak on this. I want James to post. James, can you post this?
No, but it's okay. The pastor's got to go. Okay.
Yeah, I just want him to speak. I don't want him to speak on this.
That gave him a chance because he said he got to go.
Yeah, I think he said that is last.
Yeah, Pastor, we want to say, do you have anything else to share, to say before you leave?
Okay, here is what I want to say. Every nation that is successful, whether the evil can be on a higher pace in that nation. That nation have to have a little respect for God. A little respect for God. We are not theocracy, democracy rather, not theocracy. But we should also look at this thing we are doing. It's not just political. It comes in so many things. It comes in spirituality, academics, political area. We have to be very careful. If we put a precedent there and we slap back again, our children are going to go back maybe the 50 years backward. I have a family. I have 3 kids, and that's why it's really, really critical when I make decisions.
Thank you.
And organizations.
We
So
want to say
decision is very important. That's my intake on it.
we want to say thanks a lot for joining us. Which church are you from?
Well, I'm a missionary. My church is in Liberia. New Paradise Church is in Liberia, and we are trying to have a branch in Nigeria, and we have a trip to go to Nigeria next year, the 17th of July. It's going to be on social media, by the way. Yeah, so
Thank you.
I'm a
We want to
missionary.
send a shout out to your church and thanks for the prayers and supplication you gave on behalf of the people of Liberia. We want to say God bless you and your family and your congregation. Thank you for the good work and have a good night.
Thanks. Okay,
Yes,
you
sir.
too.
Yes, sir. You know, Kev, I don't want to jam the pastor. I respect pastor there. Don't put the
No,
pastor. Don't put the
no,
pastor in situation you can't
but
handle.
yeah,
Now I call James to show your picture, my man. The
yeah,
man here to pray for
it's
us.
good for the
You want to
pastor to
join?
be. Our nation is a prayerful nation. I don't like when we exclude them because they are
No,
very
it's okay,
important.
but put your
Yeah,
picture up now. What you are talking
yeah.
about?
Just put this. You know, this is the article because I really wanted the pastor and others to talk about this. Napoleon, you wanted the article. The article is up, and everybody, all the guests and out there, if they buy this, if they can speak on this. This is Louis Brown, the man who is the face of retired suffering. Can you guys speak on this? And if you guys buy this, if you guys support this, um, and we want to see your opinion. We want to hear your opinion. I mean,
So thank you very much. As you know, let me go back to Napoleon. Napoleon, can you talk to us? Guys, I
So
know you are
before
logging in. Napoleon, hold on 1 minute. Now that we cannot bring you in, we can only take 10. You got other folks in the back. Once these gentlemen leave, we'll be bringing you guys in the back on. Please be patient and thank you for joining Spoon. Napoleon, talk to us, please.
before I answer the question, I will ask a rhetorical question to Kev. The newspaper front page, Africa, that said that Nathaniel Magay embezzled money and Samuel Toy took our map up money and he messed it up. Is it true that Samuel Toy stole the Liberian people money? If you answer that, then I will tell you why I asked that question.
You said it was rhetorical, so can you continue, please?
yeah. He says a rhetorical, so.
Okay. So I wanted to, the reason why I'm asking this question is that on newspaper, anybody can choose what to write. I have not read the article. You only see they say NPFL or whatsoever said that NPFL was a blessing to Liberia. Somebody can write and say that's why he meant to say, but Kev, this is
So
not
let me,
what we
so
want
let me,
in
let, let,
Liberia.
let me, Napoleon, let me say this to you. The article is up. They say NPFL was a blessing. Louis Brown says photos weren't different from civilian. Friday, August 22nd, 2008. New Vision. So now you know you have heard it.
So, Stanton, let me
Yes,
say
sir.
this. Louis Brown was not a soldier in Liberia. Louis Brown, somebody can write and say Napoleon said this. Seeing somebody doing something and writing in place of somebody, that's a two different things. For example, let me give you an example. Ome Boakai stood with an armed dealer in Nigeria. That's facts. Where's the facts here? If you play me a tape where Louis Brown was saying this, I will condemn it. But if you show me a newspaper where they say Jawia steal money, I'm not going to believe it. They do a full investigation and they prove that Jawia stole money, then I can believe that. But on
Okay,
newspaper, nobody can write.
Napoleon. So all the articles that come out against the government, you're now saying you don't believe that because it's an article, you don't have no proof.
Where there's no proof, I'm not going to believe it.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Napoleon, want to say we happy to have you every Saturday. Saturday will be the town hall for all of us to come around and speak our minds, talk about the issues in the country. And guys like you, we're glad to have you. Thanks for following Spoon always. Have a good evening. Yes, sir. What would you say? You want to say something?
Yes, I just wanted to say something about our country. You know, some of us, we are from Liberia and we do businesses in around Liberia, which is in the Ivory Coast and somewhere in Sierra Leone. The reason is that our country, we need to go back to Liberia to invest. And I will ask all Liberians to hold all those that call themselves leaders to hold them to the fire, because we need, as young people, we need to go back home and show what we have learned out here to our Liberian people. Because if we don't do that and we keep scaring people away and other people keep stealing from our country, it will be harmful to the young people to come. And we as Liberians, we are born kids outside Liberia, and our children need to go back home. When last we Liberian we asked, since Joseph Jacob Rao, where are their grandkids? Those people need to go back to Liberia and invest, but we are not creating an environment that will encourage these people to go back to Liberia. So if they're talking about protest, please, Liberian, we are not calling for violence. Let the Liberians get out there and petition their government. We shouldn't stop them from, exercising their right to assemble. So I'm kind of asking, thank you, Stanton, for having me. And let Liberian go out there and voice out some of the ills that in our community so that Liberia can be better for tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Napoleon. Thanks a lot. Let me bring in Wild Law. Amen. Just your name, Wild Law. Thank you for joining us. Unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, thank you. So that's just the abbreviation of my first and last name. I have a high name by the name of Yakwazwo, and the last name is Lawa Basuma. I'm from Lofa County.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm currently residing where James Kudeflomo is at as well. So,
okay.
Basically,
right.
Yeah.
All right. James said from Lofa County, but let's talk. I mean, your take on this retired suffering rather and other issues.
Basically, having a rally or a protest is not a problem. That's why we all citizens have to petition our governments to do the right thing, right? So whenever the government is slacking behind on some things that is paramount to the society, to benefit everybody, we actually call the government to order. So having a protest and calling the government to order, I don't think that's a bad thing. So because you cannot be suffering and then you like die in your suffering. So it's better you voice it out and then yeah. Yeah, so it's better you voice it out, and then with that, the government to also could have ears. Maybe if they want to hear, they could hear, and also solve some of those issues that is afforded in the country.
Those organizers of the rally, and a lot of folks complaining, say, listen, it's a good thing, but they are doing this to project Mr. Cummings, project the party, to question the fact that, listen, we doing X, Y, and Z, we have the numbers. Well, I mean, what's your take?
That's the perception of other people as well. For me, if that's a way of them doing their campaign, that's fine. One thing is that as long as the message is going out, petitioning the government to do the right thing, that's the paramount concern. Because
are you concerned that even some folks of the opposition? I thought we have a unified opposition where you got the UP, the ALP, Liberty Party, Youngly, Liberty Party, Ability, Tewangonglo Party. Everybody distancing themselves. Even as of last night, we are hearing Ability when I attend this rally, whether it's true or false. Isn't that a blow to the very purpose of this rally? By that part of the other side of the organization, the opposition group.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was trying to draft at. Right now, I feel that the opposition is even creating more chaos because they are not unifying in order to take off the government that they feel that it's doing something bad to the country. As an opposition, basically, we know that you all have separate platforms to actually get your government or get whatever people you want to get in power. But also, you should be pushing the same message about change that the government is doing wrong. So if I know that CDC has been messing up as an opposition, definitely we are trying to get CDC out. So we should not be fighting among ourselves. And that's one of the problems that I see with the opposition. It's like someone will come from ANC and try to tarnish repetition of UP. Someone come from UP and try to tarnish a repetition of like Tewagonko Party and stuff like that. And that's even causing more division in the country if you see that.
Mhm.
So yeah, for me, I feel that if the opposition come together as once, basically, they are able to have a unifying force, and that message will be very clear to the society.
Thank you very much. We want to say thanks
Yeah.
for joining Spoon.
You're
Again, we
welcome.
are always welcome every Saturday to join us and talk about the weekly event. It's good to have you,
Thank you.
Wildlaw. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
wishing.
Yes, sir. Let me bring in Jenny. Is that Jenny Sebo? Can you help us with your full name, the pronunciation? Sebo, Sebo. My man, you talk to us.
Okay, yeah. So
What's your full name? Can you pronounce your full name?
huh?
Can you pronounce your full name? Your name?
Tijani Sibo.
Tijani. Your last name?
Sibo.
Sibo.
Yes,
More
Sibo.
clap, not more clap or clapping.
Yeah, I'm from the cool side.
Okay, that's all. The man said, yeah, he can't
Yeah,
even
man.
speak. At least I try and small
I'm not
say.
supporter
At least I
of
try and small
Kev
in the crew, but you're not even speaking the
Kev group.
crew.
No, they didn't want spoiling the crew full name, but we're not part of that.
So talk to us very quick, man. Well, what's
Yeah,
your
my
take?
man. So somebody just make Kev happy just now and say, oh, so when the government you got no proof, that means yeah, kept looking for something to ride on. So he got to ride. He look, but I encourage everybody to go to the rally, and Louis Brown has his constitutional right to voice his voice, have his right to tell the Liberian people to join him and say we are suffering and we got to do something, and the government have to hear us. The CDC did so many rallies, so many demonstrations. In fact, I didn't hear CDC day rally. It was demonstration. There are a lot of demonstrations. Chaos came about. They did all the things in during Banasari time, So um, things happen. But this is the Liberian people, and looking at Louis Barnes, the person who is voicing this thing out, saying, "Oh, he's a rebel." In every other way, we were all rebels. In every other way in Liberia, the war was there. People bust stores, they looted because they wanted to survive, because they wanted to steal, because they wanted to get things right, and just to survive. People took arm. People did not kill, but people pointed people to kill somebody. Somehow, some way, we all participated in it. You are to the vice president, as the brother said. Look at Costa. I surprised my own brother Costa coming out to reject the rally as an opposition. Costa stated on the same show that even if Cummings go with George Weah's second round, he will matter of what he will support Cummings and take George Weah out. That today Costa coming out to reject the ANC. What ANC have done to you so much, or what the Alexander Kumi have done to you so much that you better hear, don't even want to hear Alexander Kumi in anything. But Costa, you forgot when you had the June 7th. Cummings were there. Joseph Burkhardt was there. The ANC people was there. And I gave the message to him. Be careful and be warned. You are going to Morovia. You are going to run for senatorial in the senatorial ticket. You're going to face him or what he needs, Sir Joseph. You got ANC people there. Do you think you're just going to ride easily? With all ANC people not voting for you? Let me see it. Be careful how you say things. There's a guy who went on his show and then said, Mama, this is not how it's supposed to be. The guy said he never cut that guy off. The guy said everything clearly to him. And he listened. Even his own assist the guy where he need or Boyma or Boyka that was on the show. He said, Boyka, you want to say I will talk. Because Boyka was not in favor of what he was saying. It's my own brother. Because I very well. Because I know me, but I don't. We don't go that route. Opposition, you gotta support us. You gotta support anybody. If Joseph Parker was the one that tell Prince Johnson and said, Prince Johnson, come on and say, look, today we'll stay in the street. You see how many people will be how you call it, or get in the street and go for that rally or demonstration. But I'm surprised of other people coming up. Darius Dillon, you said your opposition. Y'all sat there and y'all destroyed the CPP. We're trying to build back the CPP, and y'all still destroying the CPP. With opposition stand at the end, I'm an ANC man. I love my ANC. I love Alexander Kumi because I believe in the dream. I believe in the vision. And anybody can tell me Alexander Kumi is greedy and Abu to get power. Yes, he greedy for power. That power he want the change.
Thank you.
He want that development. He want that hunger that nobody will go hungry again. We all will have food on the table. Mama and Papa now come with plastic bag home. That's why he's beautiful.
Glad thank you very much, John. And we want to say thank you for joining Spoon. And listen, guys, you always follow Spoon, you know. We appreciate you guys a lot. You know, we do this every Saturday. This is a good town hall. Express yourself. Let's talk about the issue. It's 5 p.m.
Sit up. I beg you.
One
second.
minute. We'll be driving away now from this rally. The next conversation is coming up because we got another hour to go. So we're just glad to have you. Finish up real quick, Mr. Sibo.
Yeah, what's that? There's a guy who even what's his name? Vaco or Vaco. One time I was on a show. I told him he came out. He was abusing you. What time you abuse? I said somebody guys they don't read. That citizen man. Abusing citizen, that foolish man, all kind of things he was saying. I said, first of all, go back to the recording. But CEO said he doesn't even know the information is true that they have EPA or security that with just will open 9 of them left. He doesn't even show the information is true. Go back and listen to what the man said. So don't come on your show and start abusing somebody.
That is the way in the business. So we want to say, I know you will join us again next week. I know you're not. Listen, this guy always took off on Saturday just to be on Spoon. I'm a man. See what we want to say. Thank you. Bye bye.
That kept man.
Okay.
Okay, brother. Okay.
All right. Let's bring in Augustus and Mambu. Kev, before Augustus and Mambu come in, you hearing the folks. Kev, talk to us. Let me bring you in, Kev, and then you can bring in Augustus. Mambu will bring the rest of them on. I hope, Baba Toure, man, I hope you park that car, brother. We can't have you while you're driving for the safety of your own life. So we'll remove you, park the car, and you can come back on. Kev, bring in the guys real quick.
I know you can be driving, talking. Well, we listen to real Liberian, come on the show and talk about their political parties, But I feel that people who look at the face of the rally carefully versus they're saying the message, I think the Bible talk about false prophet, people who are out there who those false prophet, them who out there talking about Jesus Christ. The see, you know the Bible. You know what it's saying. Not everyone that say Lord shall enter the kingdom of God, right? so if people come out there saying that talking about Louis Brown, don't listen to Louis Brown, they'll listen to the message. I think they confuse. The Bible said, by the fruit we shall know them. So if you come out and talk about they don't listen to this, listen to the word, and some people will say, "Oh, Kev, why are you talking like that? You have people who support the government who part of the MPFL." But I want people to understand that we are at the face of reconciliation. We are at a face of putting our country together. If Mr. John hurt me, we should come together and solve our problem. You got to be part of fixing the nation. But when men like Louis Brown will say, "Come and meet me. I will deal with you. I will force this. I will fight you." Theo, let me end this, please. Let me end it. I will fight you. I will do this. Then we start to realize somebody said to me, Theo, it's very important. Somebody said to me, he said, the person would listen to Louis Brown, the person would traumatize. And the person said to me, well, every time Louis Brown speak, they go back to the days of the war. They traumatize. So let's look at Rwanda. Million people died, but they came together under the same palaver hut and put things together. If Louis Brown can come back for us to fix the nation, nobody will be talking about Louis Brown partaking in the war. But if your behavior now is to fight, is to attack, is to use certain language, we don't need.
Okay, so let's listen to the folks. That's why we have them on the show. You know, we have 6 days, 7 days, 5 days to make our own case. Let's give the folks a chance now to talk to us, with the panelists and the Liberian people, what they think. So I thought you were going to bring the guys in and listen to them. Maybe they have questions. Then the next conversation, if you want to include this, and those of you that on the outside, I will be coming in shortly. If you guys also want to include this, we heard that the CDC government, their planned program for December this month, they have been postponed to February 4th. Why are they postponing the program? Is that because of no money? Why are they postponing the program? Because the president is not in country? What's going on with the leadership, the organization team? So we're talking about the CDC likewise. Let me bring in Augustus. Mr. Augustus, how you doing today? Can you unmute yourself, please?
All right. You can hear me now, CEO?
Yes, sir. You are very loud and clear.
Yeah, CEO, thank you for bringing me on your platform, and hi to the guys that personally seated with you. Where is Ben, CEO?
Where is who?
He on the clock? Ben said he's on the clock.
Everybody got to push a cartoon, man. You know,
Yeah,
Ben is in school. He will soon be out of that program to be with us.
Yeah, America is no free money. No free money. Ben used to get in Liberia. He won't get it easily in America like that.
I'm not into that.
Okay, I'm sorry, CEO. So CEO, the thing about Liberia, everybody support their own role. And CEO, no disrespect to you, even you that on the platform, you got people you support. Take for example, just last week, you were discussing people that goes to the bank and take money. You got somebody on your platform, a major contributor on the platform that went to the bank and took money. You protecting. That's the same with people that protect. Ben, you know that Ben took 25,000 from the bank. He up to 90.
It's sure it's not about Ben. It's sure it's not about Ben.
Yeah, I guess it's just
it's not about Ben.
Hold on. I agree.
Yeah, let's talk something else.
Augusta, let's get this thing. Augusta, let's get this thing straight.
Yeah,
Ben
it's
is not
not
on the show,
Ben.
number one. Number two,
right?
You have nothing to say. Ben took money. And
see, I don't think we should talk about if we go into
yeah,
that.
I'll just pass it comment. Because Ben not here to defend himself.
Augusta, if you get issue with Ben, take it to Ben, number one. Number two, Ben is a good family man. And then
let me progress now.
To say, Ben, yeah,
please,
let me
you brought it.
You gotta apologize to Ben, man. But move on, Augustus.
Yeah, let's move on.
Come against you.
Talk about the issue on the floor.
Let's talk about the issue, man. Leave Ben alone. Ben a good guy.
All right, okay, let me progress. So, as I said, everybody in Liberia support their own thief. Kev sitting on the platform supporting CDC government, and people that he support within CDC government are the same people that participated in the war. And Eugene Nangbe is the face of CDC of President. We are now in on his trip. Go and Google Eugene Nangbe. Eugene Nangbe was an ex-rebel. He was assistant commissioner of police on a child state, or you now have also been accused of this same Bulgari, depositing same Bulgari body at the funeral home. It's one part. Uh, 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 um, Louis Brown allegedly participated in the war. That's another thing. And United Party people, that today, Bernard Yue is one of the major face of United Party. You know Bernard Yue history in the war. So Liberia issue is just so difficult because if you try to say somebody is clean, and the people that they associate themselves with, those people participated one way or the other that caused more than 200,000 people to die in our country. So how can we as Liberian, unite, come together and make Liberia a better place? I think, and CEO, we as Liberian, we got a lot of things to put in place. We got a lot to put in place. Number one, we have to let things go. People took part in the war, and now we're making progress. Let things go. Let everybody have a free space to exercise the right in the democratic space. As Louis Brown called for the protest, it is true. People suffering. Yes, people are saying that Louis Brown should not be the face of the protest. Yeah, people got a view, but it doesn't mean I right. Your opinion of somebody's opinion as to how Louis Brown took participated in the war. Yeah, people will have the opinion. But the fact of the matter is, people are suffering in Liberia. So if one person decide, regardless if he's suffering or not, but if he see the mass of the people suffering and he decide to speak for them, I don't see a problem with that. So if Liberians are suffering in Liberia and somebody come and stand to speak for them, I think Liberia should go and express their grievances to the president that yes, indeed, Mr. President, we are suffering. What's the way forward? How can you stop?
Thank
Hold
you.
on.
Thank you
When
very much.
people were suffering when Louis Brown was Minister of Information.
Kev, if you want to bring that argument,
I
people were
just ask
suffering when
you.
you.
I'm asking you.
Yes, people were suffering, and people also suffering now
When
under
people were
President
suffering.
Weah.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
You answer it. Fine. Thank you. Let's move
Thank you
on.
very
Thank
much.
Yeah,
you.
so on the racial people are
Augusta,
suffering more under President
Augusta,
Weah.
where are you joining us from?
I'm doing from Ben 7 State, North Carolina.
I see why you trying to make an easy situation.
Ben is not on your platform to defend himself. That's why I let it go.
My man,
Ben,
John
CEO,
again next week. John is again next week, my man. Yeah,
I appreciate that, CEO.
Yes,
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Mambo. I mean, Augusta is trying to force saying somebody Gary. They might get problem, so we're not going to listen to it. But thank you for joining us, Mambo.
Yeah, thank you, CEO. I want to appreciate everything you do for Liberia. I've been following you, and on a serious note, you have been the voice of the voiceless, and you are bringing people together now with the have unlike minds, and you can better coordinate it. I highly applaud you for that. The issue of demonstration, CEO, and the issue of Liberia. Since I knew myself, the first demonstration in Liberia, 1979, did not do us no good. The 1979 West Riot did not do us no good. I was a student at that time. I was a junior high student, and it broke down infrastructure. It broke down good businesses. It broke down institutions that were providing jobs for people. When Liberians could not work, could not even start to work for government, they were in the private sector. It broke down the private sector.
Which party do you belong to, Mambo?
I
Mambo,
joined,
which party?
I joined United Party right after high school, 1985. It's the only party I served as one of their campaign managers.
Are you still a member of Unity Party?
I am and I will.
Are you voting for Joseph Imabwaka?
Well, when the time reaches, we will discuss that. Because you know what? I don't believe in party. I believe in deliverables. All right, because we have listened to parties, and they have done us no good. Just political, alliance and all the kind of things. It has done Liberia no good. I want to talk on this demonstration issue because Radi. What has it done for us as Liberians? What has it done for us? It has destroyed us. From the rally in 1979, it brought us to killing a peaceful and one of the most renounced and better presidents that Liberia ever produced. And it has not taken up, it has not brought us to where we should have been at this time. Because that time, Liberia was taking the stage or leading the world. And you think that rally and demonstration will change things in Liberia? Nobody can change things in Liberia through rally. If the only person I thought that would have
Why
made
do you think?
Liberia
Why do you
better,
think? Why do you think this rally is scheduled? Why? What's the purpose of the
it's just
organization?
to gain relevance.
Okay.
That's all. It's just to gain relevance. People want to gain relevance because they've been under the political landscape for long. They want to gain relevance. But it's not going to help. It's not going to help Liberians. Now tell me, Stephen, CEO, you hosting a rally on the eve of Christmas? Are you serious?
It's the 17th Christmas Eve.
I'm talking about the week, rather, the week. When people are moving around doing their businesses and commuting from place to place, that traffic, you creating more hardship when people cannot move from one place to another. You create more hardship for them.
Thank
Why
you.
can't we be
That's
why
a
can't we
very,
be wise to
very
make good decisions for our people? Why? Why can't we think? Should America come and tell us again, don't do it like they did July 26th? This is not good leadership. People do not have the mindset to help the people. They only have the mindset to promote themselves. No, Madam Ellen was the one that was supposed to develop this country, my dear Liberians. Once Ellen did not deliver, no injured, nobody can deliver that country because the Cummins were part of the government. The Cummins did not criticize Ellen when she was paying people $15,000. One day I didn't hear that criticism from him. One day. She did not, when local were all corrupt, he one day spoke no. So Liberians, we have to be wise. Let's give Liberia a chance to move to the right dimension. Politics will not do us no good. Okay? If you want to be a leader, wait for the election time. Put your people on the street and let it go vote. Start creating rallies to gain relevance. It doesn't do no good. You got time to campaign. Go out there and campaign. It creates more hardship. Nothing good is coming to the country because of all the protests. Investors will not come in a country that always have protests. They don't want to lose billion of dollars because you got people putting talks on the street to go and destroy people property. You would have caught in the rallies, but not think about destroying things. When citizens started having rallies during their term, we condemned them. We condemned them because they were creating problems. The only blessing is the United Party have because they had a peacekeeper in the country. So investors could have continued staying in the country. But now there's no security in that country that can continue investors' investment. So you think the companies will come, you're driving away investors for every time you put people on the street. They don't think. They call themselves political leader. Are these people wise?
Thank you very much. It's
Thank you
good.
very
I
much.
mean, you came up with some good points. We appreciate you, Mabu. Thank you as
Thank,
always. Thanks for joining us. Have a good
thank you.
evening. Prince PC Callum Jr. Thanks for joining us, Prince O.
Hey, Stanton Waterspoon, thank you very much. I'm so glad to be on your platform today. It's an opportunity given me. I'm just going to lay out one point and I'll be off the show. This is a wrong time for us Liberians to be preaching the war message. This is the wrong time for Kev to be on the show constantly talking about people fight war, people fight war. Man, Kev, this is your government. I sure you have the ears or the voice. And I sure the president listened to you. You know what happened to me? Prince Johnson killed my brother. Prince Johnson killed my brother, my older brother at Bible College. He is a senator today in our country. In front of me, killed my older brother at Bible College.
What's your older brother name and have our sympathy?
Jidito.
Jidito.
Jidito. They used to call him Ben F. Break, some name. Prince Johnson killed him right to Bible College. I was in Caldwell with my older brother. He moved to Bible College, and Prince Johnson came to Bible College and killed 4 people at Bible College, and my older brother was among them. This is your government, and I sure the government has your ear. The best thing you can do for us, or there's so many Liberians that lost their family, is to ask the government to bring the war and economic crime code. Instead of being on the show and talking about Louis Brown, man, Kev, that's hypocritical. That's hypocritical. There's people in your government that also fought war. Everything that connects to Cummings, you are so against it to the extent that you on the show constantly pushing the war syndrome. We need to stop this. If we don't want to talk about the war, we shouldn't talk about it. If we don't want to solve the problem that some of us hurt today, I'm in the United States, I still miss my brother every other day. Every time I see Prince Johnson, it reflects. Every time I see him, it reflects. I've been to Liberia more than 3 times. The last time I was there, I went to visit Darius DeLong. I saw him one-on-one, and it reflects. But am I angry? Am I mad today? Am I passing around talking about the war and like everybody fought war? No, we need to stop this. You on the show constantly. Since the Louis Brown name came up, you talking about war. Bring the economy of the war crime code. So some of us can lay down in peace so our brother that, like my family that died, or people family that died can have that kind of peace. But you on the show constantly talking about war. When your government is in power, it's not doing anything. You know how hard it is to some of all that lost our family during the war. And we see President Weah, when he was coming in power, he talked about war and economic crime code. And that's the reason why some of us were over here supporting him back home. Today, he can't say anything about it. You should be one of the one on the show championing the war and economic crime code. So people like Louis Brown that fought the war can go and exonerate themselves or something. It hurts. Every time you on the show, you talk about the war. You're not bringing the war back. The war over. If we don't want to reconcile, fine. If we want to reconcile, the best way to do it right now is not to even talk about the war. Thank you very much, Chef.
Don't go, Prince. Don't go, Prince. I feel your pain. You're absolutely right. I understand where you're coming from. I do feel your pain. Losing your brother. There's nothing can replace that pain that you're undergoing right now. I feel your pain. But in 2019, the president sent a communication to the lawmaker for war crime, for war crime code that you're calling for. Darius DeLong, you say you met him, ask him, push him. We all for it. I'm for it. I have friends that died during the war, childhood friends. I feel your pain. Where you coming from, you have a legitimate reason to get angry. We all angry. Some people are angry because of the action of Louis Brown also. I want you to put yourself in their shoes too. You do have a point, my brother. Nothing can replace your brother. What you're going through, I am very, very sorry for what you're going through. Everybody who took part in the war and bring pain and suffering to our people should answer. But let the lawmaker do the work. Only the Liberian people can bring. The president cannot just say war crime. Our formation of government doesn't allow the president to say war crime code.
Yeah, Kev, I understand your point. I understand your point. Everything the president wants, he gets.
Yeah.
Man, we're not blind. We are not blind. Everything the president wants, he gets. There's brown envelope.
Let me finish.
There's brown envelope. Every time the president wants something, the brown envelope will pass all through the house, from the lower house to the upper house. When the president wanted, he get it. Why is he writing a letter? If he wanted to walk around the court, the same way he can pass all his different bills and stuff. If he wanted to walk around court, it would be the same way. It would be the same way. Akara's greater fighting for him in the lower house to make sure everything the president sent over there is passed. Why is he sending letter? When
wait,
he sent a letter, how long it been since he sent a letter?
Prince, that's the procedure. That's the procedure. That's the procedure from the president.
Yeah,
What?
the people want $2 million they feel they just for the censor. You know it's going to pass, right? Because they want it, they will get it. These guys don't want the war crime code. Okay? Don't preach that politics to me. I'm just saying you shouldn't come on the platform and keep talking about the war. Because it hurts some of us when y'all keep talking about the war and we're not doing nothing to solve the problem.
I understand.
The same problem that brought the war, that's why creepy again. And we ain't doing nothing. We all like some of us in America, we sitting here enjoying ourselves. When we switch the light, come up. My dad is still in Liberia. I got brothers and sisters staying in Liberia. Do you know how much dollar I send Liberia every time? We all got problems. We all got family back home.
Kev, let the brother speak.
Yeah.
It's
Every day
important
we come on the show with war. Every time you say war about Louis Brown for the war and this, it rings a bell in my ear. And I see the hypocritical side of you because even in your government, there are a lot of people that fought the war. Even your president, senator, not senator, your president, the guy in Grand Jita County. What's his name? Kafale. You know what Kafale did to me? For one more business, Kafale not gun a pistol on my head. When he was fighting for law and model, he followed my girlfriend, and I went to meet him somewhere with my girlfriend. He took pistol and almost wanted to kill me. All these things are happening to all. We already let it go because some of us found ourselves in like we are Liberian. We don't do how you call it therapy and stuff like that. Some of us came on this side. We were able to adapt. We living a better life, and we're still looking for good for our country. But every time you're repeating the war issue on this show, it brings back memories. And there are people in your government that fought war. There are people in the opposition that fought war. The best we can do is either record country, which your president should have done. Reconcile this entire country. If you want the war beneath behind, if you want to reconcile the country, bring the war crime code. What the president can do? He's not reconciling the country. He's not bringing the war crime code. But you, as a servant, get sit on the show every day and talk about war. That hurts. Every time you sit there and talk about war, it hurts.
Thank you,
Prince. You know that.
Prince, we want to say thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, as always, we hope we can have you next week as we discuss other national issue. Thanks a lot, Prince.
Thank you.
And again, our regards to your family.
Yes.
Yeah, let's bring in somebody. This was very, that's exactly why we do this, Rufus. That's exactly why we do this, Abraham, Richard, Lawrence. That's exactly why we do this when we invite you guys to come on set and let's talk our own Liberian way. Let's have this kind of conversation. It helped the discussion. Rufus, what say you?
Yeah, sir. Thank you. I'm joining in from South Dakota so first. Let me say thank you, CEO, for the platform. You have brought a lot of sense to the discourse on media. And thank you so much for, like I said yesterday, you are so generous. Thank you for allowing some of us. My point would be like, let me start by saying the whole protesting, the whole rally thing. The intent is good, but the faces are people that we should look at clearly. And how President William maintained Louis Brown a position as ambassador. Will he be talking about protest today or rally, whatever they call it? How President William maintained George Wisner from the Investment Commission. Will they be talking about protest today? Every time Louis Brown is out of job, they're when he backfire government. They're when he comes to say he loves the people. That's the kind of person he is. He's not real. Okay, so that whole protesting, the intent is good. People are suffering. That's the reality. 2017, I was in Liberia and I voted President William. In fact, I work with NEC. We make sure to preserve and to protect President William votes at the time. But when the president took over, a lot of things had happened under your watch. The issue of corruption, you guys talk about every day on the platform, from Legis and other places, he's not listening. Under the president watch, McGill built what they call, I can call it house, and call it grave for your mother. when people are suffering. All right. The president took over a few days later and break all the houses down around the town and started building mansions when the people were suffering. More recently, the one that baffled me, the issue that has to do with rice issue in the country. President Weah cannot be president. Then he cannot maintain rice in the country. The people not asking you say buy or rice. They only say maintain the rice in the country so that we'll be able to find food and eat. When I saw women jumping over the fence, Freeport, Zunfa, when your reporter were bringing it out there, I felt bad. I sat in my corner here and I said, wow. They said that we made a wrong decision for the other people that left back home. And I cried. It's help. And let me tell you, Kev, President Weah, we don't want to vote him. So we don't want to have the right to tell him what to do. We understand you say you're a surrogate. I understand. You want to back the government and support the government and protect their government agenda, but when it's wrong, it is wrong. And that's just the reality. President Weah need to come back to status quo and do the right thing in which he was elected for. He's not doing it. How can a president leave the country for 48 days? And you say everything's going to be okay? Who does that? Even the alien that all baffle and talk to her, say all kind of things. She didn't do that. Why George Weah? Why? And so every time someone lay down here and I'm like, my family back home, you have to see everybody, the CC is coming. It's not easy. All right, so I don't know, man. But the election is coming. Look, if I'm opportune to go back home to vote, I would prefer Cummings. But the people around Mr. Cummings, it has to be careful. The careful saying, Bedete is the one that helped to maintain the CPP that they all boast of today. Where is Bedete? I believe there is something going on. Why he named a team Kumi and Bedete wasn't part of that team? What happened? What's going on? He brought John Wilson on there, Louis Brown, and the people that had war, crown issue around him that had to do with war. They said he was come with clean or come with equity. So Mr. Cummings must come with that equity. He need to claim himself in as much as we want him to deliver the country.
Thank you very much, Rufus. We're glad to have you. See you next week, my brother, and thank you for always joining Spoon.
Thank you,
sir. Yes, sir. Let me bring in Richard. Richard, what's up, my brother? You want to unmute yourself, Richard?
Perfect.
Talk to us.
Okay, I'm Richard from 1 minute quick, please. Let me just put a video off. I think I have.
Okay, let me bring in our own brother, Lawrence. Lawrence, can you hear us now? Lawrence always having some technical issues.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, but Lawrence, you see that? Lawrence, the problem is that you have that feedback.
Yeah, that's a problem I'm facing
Call
here.
somebody to help you. We can't help
I've
you.
been trying to figure this out. I'm trying to work on it, but I don't know why.
Last week you had the same thing. I beg you, I will ask you, call somebody to help you because it's very bad. Okay?
Yeah, I really don't know.
All right. Let me bring in Mr. Abraham Johnny. Abraham, go on, friend. How are you, sir?
Glad to be on your show tonight, CEO.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting me?
We're super. Yes, sir. You are welcome.
All
Thank
right,
you
great.
for joining us.
Not from trial because I have my crew wife. You are a crewman.
I put you swat.
Oh, cool. My name is Abraham K. Johnny. I'm living in Norway. I'm happy to be on your show tonight, CEO. Because you are used to reading the Bible, so I want to refer you to the Bible when it comes to the person who is the face of the We Are Tired rally. In Philippians chapter 1, from verse 15 to 18, the writer says, some people preach the gospel with envy. Some people have wrong motives and some people have good motive. But the writer said, in all that, what makes me glad and happy is the name Jesus is preached. Even down to seditions, they admit that the message is a good message, but the sender. Okay? So what so much about this Louis Brown issue? What is important is the people are suffering. I am very, very sorry for Liberia. Look at the opposition. Even if Louis Brown is not a right face, don't you think as you are seeing that the message is good, you could not help in a way to modify the message or to help the sender? But because they are saying the rally will promote Mr. Cummings, so this is why all of them are running away from it. Now let's come to the issue of the war business. I'm happy that I have the opportunity to be here tonight, and so that I can talk directly to Kev Hassan. The day Mr. Brown came on this show, Kev Hassan said, I am happy to meet face to face with the person who took my childhood from me. Really? Was Mr. Brown the only person that you saw since the war ended that took your childhood from you? Kev, you are a Weashian, but you're always wearing the CDC hat. When last did you organize seditions to say the people that took our childhood from us, President Weah, please accept the international community's proposal. Let's punish these people here. You have not done it. The big killer, Louis Brown, was met in Liberia. Charles Taylor didn't carry Louis Brown abroad to learn how to fight. But Prince Johnson was one of the people that went to Libya to learn how to fight. Prince Johnson is one of the special forces. He only broke away with Taylor. But it is the Prince Johnson who even killed President Doe. But Prince Johnson took President Weah to Nigeria, to Prophet TB Joshua, in order for him to be president. As we speak, President Weah is in bed with Prince Johnson. You didn't see Prince Johnson to be someone who took your childhood from you. I saw service from Canada. He came to Liberia and went to Capitol building to ask the legislators and President Weah, please, let's establish the war crime court. He was beaten upon. They beat him mercilessly.
Thank you, Mr. Johnny. I want us to hear from the others.
So it is bad, CEO, please. It is bad. I'm sorry to eat your time.
No, I want you to.
Not only the people
Mr.
who
Johnny,
are killed with guns, but
Mr.
also,
Johnny.
let me remind you.
Mr. Johnny, you're going to stick with us. Just hold on 1 minute, please. We got to give audience a chance. And that's why we do this thing every Saturday.
I really appreciate it. I wanted to remind Ken.
So just hold on 1 minute.
Just we are security. Put bullet in somebody's head. 3 bullets. And they said the man killed himself.
Mr. Johnny, 1 minute, please. Let me bring in GS.
They beat on the three boys that got missing. They beat on their family members.
Mr. Johnny, please.
You sit down there. You're talking about one person every day.
Mr. Johnny, please. Thank you very much. Let me bring in GS Kemo. GS Kemo, welcome, Mr. Kemo. Welcome to the Spoon Talk. How you doing?
Fine, thank you, Staton. I'm GS Kemo calling from Maryland.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Liberian. I've been for some time on the same war. Hello?
Yes, we are hearing you, guys. Let's mute ourselves while we give Mr. Kemo the chance to speak. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Again, thank you for this show and for this network. I appreciate you a lot. I appreciate you. I appreciate your patience. But this is a clear manifestation of we are second term because of the behavior of the opposition. The same way they destroyed the CPE initially, now that CPP is never going to come back together. They're going to use every means to destroy, and then it's going to be we are second term again. I don't have no party, but this thing about we are suffering or tired suffering, it affects some of us in America here too, because we got friends and family that every day they're going to text you. If you're not for privacy sake, or you're going to get my son with you. But you know, I got a lot of people on there, some of them been on your show, and those are some prominent friends and things. So I don't want to do that. But I know Louis Brown. I know Joseph Boakai. I know every one of those guys. They are my friends. Some of them see me on the show today. I've been trying hard to get on your call, but maybe we who not on Facebook, we hardly get on your show. Don't recognize on YouTube. But I just want to say that from the day of coming announcement for the team with Louis Brown on it, I knew there were everything that he have done. That was the end, because it's gonna be the excuse for the opposition. Today, Darrell Dillon saying he was not on the planning. Costa saying no. If a common projection, every one of them, the excuses for that. That Louis Brown, but this is not Louis coming political. It could be anybody that they were going to say the same thing. Coming people are going to say, "Oh, that long protest, we can't go there." All that Baka and all. So it's just cheap politics. It's politics. I know you get asking the question, but you know it's politics. Coming have messed with the Louis Brown on it. That's what people are going to compare on. Today, tomorrow, coming Gothe coming is in second round with we are. The same thing they're going to say because Louis Brown stay with Comey. They're going to say, "Oh, I can't vote for Comey, Louis Brown on our team." Tomorrow, Baka, Comey, they're going to say, "Well, they didn't vote for us. They didn't like us." So the same thing continue. We are wins. Tell me today, tomorrow, we are wins. But my advice to Kev, I know you are loyalist. You love we are. But sometimes the way you can talk, it can really hate. Now, one day you say the truth. Try, I mean, you just say the little truth. But the way you can talk, that I'm sorry to say, sometimes people accuse you you're not a Liberian. So, Mr. Witherspoon, I thank you so much and continue the good work and continue to open the way for Liberian to be able to understand and know some of the things that are happening. Trust me, some of the things that discussed on the phone, on the show, when we're telling people in Liberia, they don't know, they have not listened to it. And we encourage them to listen to your show and to your radio station. But thank you for the good work. God gonna bless you. And I thank the team. My regard to my man, the body. He's my man. I know Timothy, I met him in Maryland. And my doctor, Dr. Richardson, the cool girl. Mariah, the hash. So thank you, Mr. Waterspoon, and thank you, and God bless you at the show. This is my first time. I've been fighting to come on the show. I've been to call. My call is never taken. But thank
No,
God
thank
today I
Thank
was
you,
able.
Mr. Kimball. This is why we will set aside Saturday, every Saturday, to do this town hall. So everything you hear from Monday to Friday, we will be talking about a weekend review on Saturday, and now you guys can contribute. We say thank you very much, Mr. Kimball. Have a good evening. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, boss man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me bring in Acid of October. What happened is that Falcon just went off. I think it's a technical issue.
CEO Robbie, you want to bring me in?
No, you gotta hold on 1 minute, Melvin. I will bring you in. Let me bring in
Okay.
Isaac, then I come to you, please. I'm also seeing Rachel, he's back, and other folks in the back. We will be wrapping this thing up at 6. So we ask you guys today. It's a good Saturday. We gotta go spin. You guys know people on the hustle. So by 6 o'clock, we are out of here, please. Isaac, thank you for joining us, my brother. You want to unmute Isaac?
Yeah. Yeah, CEO, how you doing, man? Gentlemen, how you doing on the show? Lady women, I'm calling in today, eh?
There's no Dr. Richardson or no female, so the women scared.
Okay. Well, let them know anytime they're around, I'm around, they're protected. But anyway, I just want to say I appreciate this opportunity you're giving Liberians to have voice. It's it's very essential in general for the people who listen to you sometimes, besides them posting and responding to you, for you to give them this opportunity and declaring that Saturday is a available day for them. I think it steps the show up a little bit to really hear directly from Liberians. But try to protect Kef, because plenty people coming on here with blast at Kef, okay? Because when they got about our pocketbook here, our wallets here in the US with regards to the pressure, it's no joke. Just from the 28th of what do you call it, month or November, I try to block all the people names, right? But I nearly $2,000 just for what 12 days. Wow. So I imagine some of the other people who got family members, who got responsibilities and stuff, how much they're sending. So if the economy cannot get better, we'll keep talking about bread and butter issues. Hopefully at some point we can really get to dissect all the ailments that are in our community and in our country and the issues that are driving them. But it's very, very unfair to Liberians who could actually be directing that money to actual investment, to opportunities for other Liberians. At the rate this government is growing, is contracting the economy, squeezing out potential investment in the economy, and really driving Liberians nuts. If the government can turn it around, it will be great. But I just want to touch on briefly the guy who was talking about the opposition. The Liberian people have to decide, is this government the right government for them? If no, then let them focus on the people in opposition. The people in opposition don't have to be on one ticket, because Gonglo wants to be president, Cummings wants to be president, Boyka wants to be president. Pick one among them. But there has to be some level of collaboration among the opposition. They themselves have to determine George Weah is not the option. As much as Mr. Cummings has been, his integrity has been impugned, he has been insulted by other opposition people, especially people from the Unity Party. If the Unity Party will go to second round, I will support the opposition. And we need to build that mindset in the opposition that, look, collectively, we are a better option than what George Weah offers this country. So let's see how we can work together. There's so many issues that the opposition can start working together on, from this voter registration to the census to
monitoring the elections, to civic education, to just peace during the elections process. All of those things are factors that can build some level of confidence and trust that they can collaborate. So they need to start thinking on that level rather than just focus on, criticizing or denigrating each other. So, I just love this format you have presented, and hopefully we'll hear a lot of insight from different people. But please protect Kev, because many people will come on here trying to insult him.
Yeah, we're not insult. We have a good program. We have the magic key to remove folks, and so far so good. Everybody will come to just speak on the issue, and I like to fight. Ava, that this is what we need to do. We talk among ourselves. We are in position to discuss this thing, but let's hear from the people. The other gentleman came up and said, "You know why Frank Johnson killed my brother?" That was touching. Somebody came out and said, "You know what? The president presented the letter. The lawmaker should act upon it. But it's the president enforcing, calling on our chief, calling on Speaker Buffer Chamber. What's the result of my letter? When I ask you guys to come up with the plan with the war crime code and whatsoever, these are the kind of conversation. Then now we start going to the Liberian people. We tired suffering. Tell me how you are suffering. Then we'll open the phone lines and ask Liberians, have you eaten today? Do you have job? Are you taking pay? Those are the bread and butter issue. We got to be real. Sometimes let's stop the game about we this, we that in politics. Let's speak to the issue. And that's why I like my Saturday program, to talk to the Liberians. And we're glad to have you guys. Let's just hang on with us, Isaac. Let me bring in Melvin Roberts. From there, we'll go to Kev. Then we'll come back. Kev will bring in Richard. Melvin?
Yes.
Talk to us, my brother.
Okay. Thank you, CEO, and the rest of the guys on the show. And to the people of West Point, because I hail from West Point, but I'm currently in the U.S. I'm residing in Maryland, Silver Spring. Not too long I'm here. So my issue have to do with my brother Kev. You see, Kev, many of us, we are suffer in Liberia. All the Civil War, we spend it in Liberia. So, if you think you love us as Liberian, what you could do, simple to help us back home, our country. Please speak with President Weah. Just how he can lobby to have things happen in the house there, because I heard you saying that he sent a communication in, he sent it in. It's not enough. If President Weah want things to happen, he know what can happen. So I'm begging you, we lost our parents in this war. For me, I lost my mother in the LPC war. So I'm begging you, if you want for President, we have to do well. Let him support the war and economic crime code fully. And also, I'm from West Point. Go West Point. You understand how our people are suffering. The thing that West Point thought real new, the president is not focused on it. We need our coastal defense in West Point. Every rainy season, people are home there in West Point. Then he went, he said he paying playground. What the impact of playground will really have on the people of West Point when they see come? So I think one of the music means to appeal to President Weah. He should focus on the people of West Point issue, the coastal defense. But if you think he will just sit there and say, "Oh, the West Point people love me," I can tell you, it will not be fun for him for 2023. He needs to do his best. The West Point people will be supporting him over and over. But this time of 2023, we need the best in our coastal defense. CEO and the rest of the guys, I say thank you for giving me all the time. I appreciate you. I hope this continues. Thank you.
You're quite welcome, my brother. Thank you very much for being part of the show today, Melvin. and we hope we can see you next week, Saturday, with new other information. I have Alfred Kobo. You are in the back.
Thank you.
Can you adjust your camera, brother Alfred? It is important that you adjust your camera to bring you in. Melvin, have a good evening, and it's good to have you always. Let me go back. Kev, you want to speak and bring in Richard? Then from there, we'll bring in our puppet Johnny. You have something, Kev?
Yeah. We. I think sometimes we all, you know, I would thank you for. I would thank you for what you said, but I think we all should take out our political hats and realize that we should give our people education about how government work, how the three branches of the government operates. We have to do that. Reason that we have to do that is you see you see the barrage that coming towards me, because a lot of people thought that I'm insensitive, especially from the opposition side, from that I'm insensitive towards their pride. Listen to Mr. Abraham. I understand where he's coming from, but some of this anger is based on lack of education. So when some of us try to put it in that form that we should look towards education, they get upset. We when in America here, a lot of people talking in America here. When they try to pass the Affordable Health Care Act, which they call the Obama Care, when the people want to, and I support what Mr. Darrell Dillon said. I'm fully behind what he said. When the people want to protest, they go to the lawmaker. If you want a war crime, the president has done his part. The American said it's up to the Liberian people. When they use the word "it's up to the Liberian people," they're telling you your direct representation is your senator, your lawmakers. It's upon us to preach to the people. Not saying John we should be that man who's supposed to say, "Oh, you have to do it," because our formation of government, our law, our constitution is not based on decree. What I mean by decree, the president in no way should be the only soul, the only person can call for something in that country. It got to go through the legislature. The government cannot even just appoint somebody without the blessing of the legislature. It's upon us. Otherwise, people like me will not walk free. Because people like me will not walk free. Because the people, in the minds of some people, that the president will snap his finger and say war crime code. No, it's upon us to go to our lawmaker. You should flood your lawmaker phone line. You should go to your lawmaker. You should demonstrate. Enter the Capitol building, flood it, and tell them we need war crime codes. Because they dare to represent you. They are your direct representation. Not the president. The president have done his part in 2019. He sent a communication. It's upon you, Mr. Abraham, to call your lawmaker and say, what's up with that? That's what they're being paid for. But if we don't educate our people, what will happen? It will come back to people like me who's speaking the truth. And the truth is your lawmaker. Only your lawmaker can bring war crime code, not the president. only your lawmaker. Why? Because the Liberian people are the only people can bring, and your voice is through your representation, and that's the truth. It happened here. It happened here. So I'm just saying, Liberians, all of us who have the loudest mic, should speak to people like Mr. Abraham and let him know that he should call his lawmaker. Get on your phone. Tell them that you need a war crime code, not the president. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has 17,000 troops. There was no war crime code. Let's speak the truth. Otherwise, I will be having the barrage of attack. And I will not work freely because of misinformation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Johnny, you want to come in before you leave us tonight, please? Mr. Johnny, can you unmute?
Am I okay now?
Yes, sir, you are. Thank you.
All right. First, let me start by apologizing to you. It seems that my voice was a little bit high. And I think my first time coming on the show, it was inappropriate. So I want to apologize. I'm sorry.
Mr. Johnny, you are welcome always. Thank you.
Okay. But I want to remind Kev, he needs to understand that this government that is headed by President Weah, when anything happens, President Weah will be the one that they will call. They will not call the legislators. Perhaps Kev doesn't know. The day that President Weah was taking the oath of office, humanitarian organizations started to write. One of the letters was signed by humanitarian organizations around the world, including Africa and Liberia, because they want this thing to be settled. The two branches of our government that he is talking about, I mean, of the legislature, the two branches are headed by seditionists. When during one of the ECOWAS summits in Abuja, the ICC president visited them, and President Weah was the only person that man had meeting with 1 hour meeting, and he even invited President Weah. Do you think the other people are not Africans? They were not African leaders, but because of the situation that is in Liberia, he is talking about the Americans say it's up to the Liberians. But I can recall less than 3 months ago, one of the ambassadors to the United Nations came to Liberia, and he was on OKFN. He visited the legislature that you're talking about, and she talked to other people, and I was just wondering, she was asked, are you going to see the president, meet the president? She said, no, not this time. I don't have any any plan of meeting the president. We want to know why this criminal code had not been established in this place here, or why the TRC recommendations are not being implemented.
Thank you, Mr. Johnny. I know we're having next week, but we gotta run. We gotta run. I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Abraham.
All right, see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you a lot.
You're welcome.
Richard, let's bring you in, Richard. Thanks for being patient.
It's okay. Hello, I'm Richard from Italy. Oh, I want to discuss few issues. One of the issues is the free voices of librarians interacting with other librarians on the platform. Usually, most librarians, if we intend to make our comment, you guys will block us. We don't have access to chat on the Spoon Talk. If you go to other platforms, like you guys have like Fabric, Fabric is not like you guys will look up on Fabric at the comment. So I think since you guys want to make the platform free for all librarians to express their grievances and their mind, it should be free to all librarians. What happened? Because if you intend to get into politics, you have a state. If someone comes to attack anyone on the platform, you should accept the person comment on the platform, but not blocking all librarians for expressing their view. It's very wrong. So like almost a year now, I have been blocked on the Spoon Talk. I cannot make a comment. There's no way for my voice to be heard because usually we don't have the like the space to make our voice to be heard. It's just a few weeks ago you guys opened a platform for us to make our comment to be heard.
What did you do? Why were you black? Tell the folks, why were you black?
I was black because I attacked Ben Savvy. He blocked me. Black.
Hold on,
who blocked you?
And I like this.
Yeah.
What did you do? What did you say?
I'm a sympathizer to Liberty Party. When the Liberty Party conference started,
What did you say? I'll say you're sympathizer. What did you say, Richard?
Okay, it was a comment based having made, and for me, I came in a counter attack when he was saying something like I felt it was not proper. So instead of coming in on a proper counter attack, he had the opportunity of blocking me.
No, the issue is that we just not going to black anyone. If you can express yourself, that's what we'll bring in everyone. But if you start insulting, we will block you. We want to keep this. We want to keep this as a family program. So since you are saying that you are black, we're gonna unblack you because we're glad to have you. We're gonna respect each other and our own views. We will not insult. We will not wish evil on one another. We're gonna have a very clean program. As much as I would disagree with you, or you would disagree with me, we'll be mature to have a very, very family-oriented show.
Okay, CEO.
Yes,
I love what you said. So, what happens to other politicians in a country where, like KF who insult Joseph Boaka Alexander Kumi on a daily basis? What happens to him? A lot of people, I don't you get into the political space, you expect people insulting you or people coming after you. You should expect that. If you open a platform, like for example, on a BBC platform, people can make a lot of comments. People don't block them because people need a comment. So if I make a comment, you don't like it, you pass about it, but you don't block me for a comment.
Yeah, but again, that BBC, again that VOA, again that CNN. You don't see folks reading the comments from CNN that's going live.
What?
But hold on now, Richard. Richard,
BBC tomorrow.
Richard, hold on now. I know you're praying for me to be BBC tomorrow, and we will be by God's grace. But what we are saying to you, Richard, let's keep it clean. You can disagree with anyone, but do not insult them. All right? It's not our will to
I didn't. Okay.
Or whatever you want to comment on Fabric. So let me say this: when you comment on Fabric, when you comment on Super, we do see it. On YouTube, we do see it. It comes up in the live feed. So make your point. This retired suffering rally and all the other issues.
Okay. The first thing, let me address the protest. The protest is not going to be fruitful because those who heading the protest are not those people who should be preaching about protesting Liberia. These are people who after their selfish interest. They are not in the interest of Liberian people. For example, a week before the Christmas season, like for us who have our parents and our brothers who are selling around town, they are not going to the protest ground because why? This is time like when people go to run after that daily bread for the whole entire year. Because the Christmas season, people who sells in the market, this is the time they receive their profit. So they are not going for the protest. And if you're having a protest, like for example, my own big brother Azevad Tukba, who is on the platform today, he wrote a book, insulted our Liberian women. Coming to him saying he should resign. He went and resigned. Today he's the one who preaching about people should go after protest. So it just tells me that Kumi is just accepted to the Liberian people. He's not worth to be a president, but he's just promoting himself because the protest is all about promoting himself for the presidency. It's not about Liberian people. When Louis Brown knows Liberian people are suffering because we are recall him to come Liberia because he was not fit to be an ambassador to the United Nations, Liberia. Today, Louis Brown knows very well Liberians are suffering. When he was information minister at the time in the Eddie Johnson government, this is a man who took 200 Liberian people on a job because, for example, you have radio LRB 25, and you have the First FM. He closed those 2 radio stations down because he said they were against the government. He closed those 2 radio stations. Those people who were employed in these 2 radio stations, they had their family members and other people who were surviving from them. He closed those radio stations. Don't you think those people too were suffering at the time? And today you are talking about Liberian people suffering. At the time, Liberian people are suffering under any government. He didn't see those people suffering. If Liberian people are suffering, Louis Brown is not supposed to be preaching about people suffering in Liberia. He was the one who they all contributed for our people dying in Liberia. He was one of those who make our country today. Healthcare is so down. And today he's talking about Liberia should go and protest against the government. Or because he wants his own self-interest, he wants to come out in government and he wants to use the Liberian people to come out into government.
We're going to hold you 1 minute. I want to bring in Asivat because you are speaking against Louis Brown and making a point. Also, you call Asivat book that he authored, he and another friend. Isaac, you want to respond to Richard, please?
I don't know what, Richard, just tell me in one sentence, what is your real issue?
My real issue? My real issue is the Liberian people. If we come to preach politics, we should come with equity. We speak about equity, we should come with clean hands. We shouldn't have people who come to the public space with tinted character and preaching to be like a clean person today. They are not Messiah. They are just preaching for their own selfish interest.
So you believe in the Bible?
I'm a born Catholic. I baptized in the Catholic Church.
But then you got to be familiar with Saul to Paul, right?
No, it's not about during those days. When we talk about Saul to Paul, it's not the person. You don't talk about someone changing to the. At the time, Jesus Christ was the one who arrested Saul to change him to Paul. Not Jesus Christ, not on earth to change.
So then why are you a Christian? If Jesus now on earth, why are you a Christian?
Jesus is not on earth. We only pray. We only pray.
You only pray?
We only pray to him.
All right, let Richard go. Let Richard go.
Richard, nobody's perfect.
But see, I have not completed my point. I have some points. Ask me. I have few points to make.
Go ahead, finish up.
And you told me say I should talk and ask a question. So I need to.
So finish
up.
All
right, finish
up.
Okay, let me come to Kev. Kev, you know.
Which country are you
going to? So Richard, you wrote all these points down? Oh my God.
Go ahead, Richard, finish up.
You know, Kev, you know very well the horse is controlled by majority of the CDC lawmakers because we have we have those who committed to the party, they are in a few. And those who were elected as independents, definitely they support the government in power. So as we are saying, the horse is controlled by the CDC government. And besides that, the two horses, which is the Senate, the House of Senate and the House of Representatives, they are all sedition, which is the Speaker and that of the Senate pro tempore. Some lawmakers make the right or communication to this pro tempore or that of the Speaker. If this communication is against the government and the fee is going against the government, they don't put it on the floor for discussion. And besides that, the president doesn't want for the war and economic crime codes to come to the country because he feels within himself that he circle himself around those people who brought war and killed Liberian people. So if he brings the war crime to Liberia, those people are not going to support him in the next election. He's only seeking his self-interest. It's not the Liberian people. If today Joshua won the war crime code to be in Liberia, definitely he's going to pass around with a brown envelope to make sure that the war crime and economic code is implemented in Liberia. But because he feels that he loves his power and he loves the free life, the free money he's making from the Liberian people, and also he feels within himself that if he intends for the bill to be passed for the war and economic crime code to be in Liberia, he's definitely not going to get the support of Prince Johnson, our lady who was the madam for the war in our country, which is Joe Howard Taylor. Her husband was the president, so she was the special advisor to the president at the time. So he's not going to do it. So at the end of the day, Liberians are in dumb. So the only thing we can tell the Liberian people is to make a rational decision in making sure that this coming election we should make the best choice for ourselves and have our country in peace. Then thinking on the CDC government bringing the war and economic, it's not going to happen.
So Richard, before you leave, what's the best choice? Who will you be voting for 2023?
But now I will tell the Liberian people to make the best choice because I'm not on ground to see who is actually the best person to make our country to be successful. But the Liberian people are the one who feeding the peace, the suffering, they are going through.
Richard, don't you do the plenty talking, don't do this to the people. You follow the story, you know exactly what's up. Who do you think when you hear President we are Joseph Boakai, Alexander Cummings, Tewon Gonglo, or Samuel Fremont, the rest of them, who do you think will be the better president comes 2023?
You want me to okay? Let me be frank with you. I have two persons I feel that they are very competent and qualified to be president of Liberia based on their track records.
The first person.
Tewon Gonglo is very good.
Your second person. Your second person.
Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai is very intelligent. Someone who worked in the government for the past year and has clean records.
Thank you very much, Richard. It's good to have you. We hope we can have you next week.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. The last person for tonight is Mr. Andrew Wallow. He's the last person for tonight, folks. Sorry that you came late. You can join us next week for us to have a wonderful show. This is what we do every Saturday. Every Saturday is for you. But please be on time because it's very, you know, Isaac, I'm enjoying this thing. That nobody telling them what to say. They're saying what they feel, what they're hearing, what they believe. And that's exactly what we need to do. Then we will open the phone line early to talk to a lot of Liberians next week. So let's wrap this thing up. Let's talk to Mr. Wallow. Mr. Wallow, how you doing?
Train. Hello, are you hearing me?
We hear you, Mr. Wallow. How you doing?
Okay, yeah. I'm Andrew G. Wallow calling from Sweden in Stockholm. Yes, I want to thank the CEO for granting us the opportunity to at least express ourselves, say some other issue pertaining to our country in Liberia. But I'm less disappointed with some people. It's like they need to go back to civics. I think Kev tried to bring some issue that they are not really understanding. Uh, when it comes to the issue of the House, the House and the Senate, there are a lot of issues that happen. The president did his own part, and someone is saying that the president get exactly what he wants. And I think I can record many times the president was denied of some things, and some other things that he put forth, and he was denied. So I don't think what people are saying that the president have the causes under his control. These are lawmakers that are independent man people. They are making decisions in the interest of the people, in the interest of the country. And if any person's group of people have issues and they want something to be passed, it just has people are saying you have to petition a lawmaker. I don't know why people are keeps running from this and they're putting everything on the president. The next thing I want to say is that I want to carry directly to my big brother. I say, Tobat, let me just tell you, people were sending money to Liberia. People were sending money to their people, and people will continue to send money to their people, regardless of who will be president, who will be leader. So don't say that you just spent 2,000. So you want to tell me you never spent money in Liberia before? This is the first time you're sending money. Let us be fair in the issues. We understand that people are suffering. A lot of things is happening in the country, but don't say that you just spent 2,000 US and less of that. You want to tell me since you travel to the states or since you've been going in and out, you are running for the senatorial position, you never spend money? Just stop to make our people to think that our people are beggars. These things are not fair. And let's stop attacking Kev. Kev is a person that choose. He choose who he want to vote for.
He's muted.
And as to who they want to support. Everybody supporting different political parties. That is their choice. So let us be fair. But anyway, I just want to stop short because I'm the last person. Thank you, CEO, for affording me the opportunity to talk on the other part of the world.
Thank you very much, and be safe over there, my man. We hope we can have you next week. It's good to have you. Thank you. Kev and our brother Isaac, let's wrap this thing up. James and Nelson Kola, yeah, you guys come on. Let's wrap the thing. Kefiko.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this thing up, brother. That's the way it is. We beautiful Saturday, and I know you got to go to your spot. It's calling you. I know that I say regret that Canada is not around because he won't be home. If there was any Canada around over there, he would be he would be out there, meet and greeting folks. But want to say it's a good thing. Kev, what's up, my man? Let's wrap this thing.
Yeah, I think we should try to do some voters education on issues because every Saturday you say we're going to be bringing up people, but this shows that our people, despite of some of them, their age and being around for long, still don't know how our formation of government work, how government work. And if we don't do that, I'm afraid that every government come in our country will be going around the same cycle. The same cycle. We always feel that the president do have the ultimate voice to call for anything he wants. We know that when the president called for reduction of his tenure and the lawmaker, it didn't pass. We know that when the president said, "Look, my stay in power, I want to reduce it," it didn't pass. When the president called for dual citizenship, it didn't pass until the lawmaker decided to do it their own. When the president called for, we have seen nomination from the president, from Zolizo to the guy from the airport, to some other nomination, it didn't pass. So the notion of what the president wants, he gets, is wrong. I know the opposition will preach that. No, we can name. But good diploma has been in the Senate, and over we have seen things of the president that he put forth has been beaten down. No way. So when folks come around and say what the president wants to pass, it's not right. When you want something, go to your lawmaker. People need to understand that when you vote your lawmaker in, he's there for you. And part of their function is representation. Who is he representing? Ask yourself. He's representing you, the Liberian people. So if you say that, you say, oh, no war crime code, who you need to speak to? The people who representing you. That's why the formation of our government is like that. Because you cannot just say, oh, the president. Because you know why we do that? We don't want the president to be that chief, that anything the president wants, the president get it. No, we don't want that. I don't want that. So the reason we have lawmakers is because we gave them power. Their lawmaking, their oversight, their representation. So when I see people come, oh, the president don't want what? The president, it hurts. Why it hurts? Because of our nation is heading into a certain people making our nation heading into a stupid nation. The reason why I'm using the harsh word, because I want people to realize that they should go back into the Constitution. They should read. They should go back.
But Kev, let me hold you 1 minute and ask you a question. Kev,
It's
let me ask you a question. Kev,
Protect
let me
our
ask you a question. Allow me to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If you we'll go back to the song, the music, Michael Jackson, The Man in the Mirror. I don't think the way in which you understand your civic, the way in which you understand your politics, you should put that upon the other folks. If they are saying you're wrong, your interpretation are wrong, I don't think you should get mad though. That's why we have the argument. And I don't think that will make our nation a stupid nation. Like the way in which the judges will sit to interpret the law. So I would say this to you. Most of our followers tonight, I think what some of them are saying, what some of them have said, I think is good to listen to. Because I can make that argument, Kev. Almost 4 or 5 years, the president sent a letter to the lawmakers. Have he followed up? If this president was sincere, very, very serious, to say that I need to work with the international partners and we will have to establish a war crime court, he will push. He have the power. He have the bulletproof it. He will fight each and every one of the lawmakers because he's the one and only individual that represents the entire nation. They don't represent a county. Sir Joseph represents a county. But this president represents the entire nation. Have he written the lawmakers and inquire as to what's the status of his letter? Have he spoken to Albert Chi? Have he spoken to Buford Chamber? Fulati Kofa, the deputy speaker? Have you spoken to the vice president, who is the president of the Senate, to make that inquiry? So if this president is actually serious for the establishment of the war crime court, we won't be here for almost 3-4 years since he wrote his letter. So it shows the seriousness of the president. And you're my friend, but I would say this as we end the show: if this president, if this president, brother, let me finish now. Brother, let me finish. No, let me finish. Let me rest. I almost landed. Kev, I almost landed. Kev, I almost landed. You will not interrupt because I'm begging you. Yes. We ending the show. And a lot of Liberians out there, your understanding is different from their understanding. You are government representative. You everything about this government. But on this day, the 9th, the 10th of December, I will say to you, my brother, the President George Manawia, it seemed to be he have no interest of a war crime court. He have no desire, especially his first term, that he wanted support of Frank Johnson. He would not even talk small on war crime court. Especially what the last caller said. The last caller said he got the wife of the former president that is in jail. It will also bring in Joe Howard Taylor. Brother, to tell you the truth, put this on the lawmakers, but the president himself have no interest of a war crime court. What did he say at the airport? He said it's up to the Liberian people. So that's my 2 cents, brother. I would disagree with you on this one. My own personal opinion, before you cut in, I would disagree. I don't think our people are foolish people. I don't think our people don't know what they want. They know what they want, but when it comes to war crime court, President George Manor, we have no interest. And that's where I will end. You can make your final point. And we'll go back to Isaac after you.
Let me say this to you, and I hope Isaac and will back me on this because I guess he knows. Let me say this to you. I don't interpret the Constitution. You don't interpret the Constitution. The Constitution is there. It's an organic law. So if you're saying that, oh, the president should do this, the president should do that, what the law says, let's go by the law. If the president send in a nomination and keep bugging the Senate to nominate somebody that is sent in, Stanton A. Waterspoon will say the president is interfering with the law. So if the president sends in a communication, there, it's upon the lawmaker to act. If the lawmaker not act, you, Stanton Waterspoon, should call on the people to go to the lawmaker, not the president. That is the law. I wish if Ira can take off his political hat, and what I'm saying, let him say I'm wrong. That's what our Constitution says, and that's what our organic law says, and that's what our law, and that's what our formation of government. There's no way that you will put this on the president because the president has done his part. That's our law. So if you say it's the president, I think it's not right. That's why some of our people, they're having a wrong information. You living in America, you have your lawmaker in your states. What you want and what you want to do is go through your lawmaker, because you cannot go to the president. You cannot go to the president. Where do we demonstrate in America? It's to Congress. Senator A. Waterspoon, 1971, when the American people were demonstrating against the Vietnam War, headed by John Kerry, where they went to Congress. 1971.
Let's bring it as a vibe.
Let me end with this.
Yeah, end with it now.
Martin Luther King, where Martin Luther King demonstrated Congress, where Malcolm X, where all those people for the freedom that we're enjoying today is Congress, where the change in law for
So
you,
thank you, Kev.
person to vote,
Thank you.
to have the freedom of vote. Rosa
So
Parks.
let's bring in Asifai. Thank you for learning the American history. Thank you, Kev. Kev, thank you for learning the American history. Asif, let me say this to you before you come in, my brother. Kev, thank you now. Thank you for memorizing the American history. Let's move on. Asif, let me say this to you, right? Protesting, rioting, calling for mass protests, that's not what we are talking about. And I hope my brother can understand. We'll leave this show today based on what the gentleman said. Listen to one of the participants on the show tonight. He said Prince Johnson killed my brother. He said the guy, I think he's the superintendent in Grand Jita. He said he knocked my head with gun. Those are the folks that are going back into the war days. Let me ask you, Isaac, forget about you be your CPP or ANC member whatsoever. Let's talk as a Liberian. The president, for almost 5 years, wrote a letter to the lawmakers to talk about war crime code. Do you think he really serious for the establishment of a war crime code?
Just how Ellen was unserious about the establishment of the war crime code is how George Weah is very, very unserious about the establishment of a war crime code. He clearly has no interest, and he probably paid lip service in that first instance where he sent that letter. But there has been no indication of an interest in pushing a war crimes code from George Weah. Our partners have been very clear. Certain things they leave up to us to push as a country. And George Weah have been like, oh, if Liberian people want it, they can talk. That's not enough. This country needs healing. I don't care what people say, even if they were not in Liberia for the war, they were affected by the war. That post-traumatic stress disorder is not limited to only people who are in the arena. It related to people who related to them, people who had impact from just dealing with people who had impact from associating with people who are involved in the war. So our country needs the War and Economic Crimes Code to rectify some of the things that have gone wrong, to bring closure for some people, to hold some people responsible, and at some point even be able to do reparations for some people who lives, their family lives, their entire trajectory of success was just disrupted completely by this war. So George Weah, and it's just sad that Kev is sitting here and talking about the Constitution. Look at what they tried to do with Clark Martin. Look at what they did with Kabina Jane. There are people who want to play a blind eye to how this president usurps the Constitution, how he usurps laws with regards to tenure and other stuff. That's wrong. The fact is, our Liberian president is an imperial president. Whether we like it or not, is an imperial presidency we have. The president has unlimited powers. The lawmakers we've got, unfortunately, most of them are easily compromised that they don't stand up on principles and stand up on a mandate that the people give them to really represent the interests of the people. I don't even know how many lawmakers I can say I advocate for the War Crimes Code. And Kev, knowing that, Prince Johnson over there, Bully over there, there's some other people. Yes, Yeke has said he wants to invite the War Crimes Code. We hope he's being sincere about it. But why can't the president lead the effort? He is the father of this nation. Whether he likes it or not, he is. It's a responsibility he runs from. It's obvious. But it's something that he needs to take responsibility for. There are so many Liberians out there hurting. There are so many Liberians who want closure. So there's just an open request to the president. Take the responsibility of the presidency and push to have this War Crimes Code take effect. or at least show some level of concern and sincerity to closing this chapter in our history, maybe set the basis down that the next president can effectuate the actual commissioning of a war crimes code with our partners. We know we can't pay for it. We know there is a treacherous position in terms of where it's at. And it's possible some people may want to instigate some kind of action or reaction to a war crimes code, but the reality is we need it, and we need to put in the right protective measures. We need to be able to communicate to our partners the potential threat to our own peace and stability of having a war crimes code. But for the benefit of a significant number of our people, we do need a war crimes code. So if George Weah is serious, he will push to have a war crimes code in the country.
I want to say thank you very much, Asif. Beautiful show. As we leave tonight, let me say this. I do believe, and all the Liberians that listen to us, I like the fact that we can invite our fellow Liberians on the set to discuss the issue. We would do this as we march towards the election. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. We want to interact with you. I do believe the president. I really just don't think that the president is serious about war crime code. Not under these conditions. The day President George Manneh Weah prior to the election talk about war crime code, he will lose the support of Prince Johnson. He will lose the support of a lot of folks, especially those folks that participated in the war. It is very, very shameful as a nation for our president to just ignore the most important burning desire of the Liberian people. Where do we go? We go through the Palaba Health system. I mean, the international community is willing to give us the money for the establishment of the war crime court. They're willing to give us the money. The money is there, it's sitting there, they are waiting. President George Manneh Weah have the border puppet to fight on the establishment of the war crime court. I believe the president should do it. You can blame everybody you want to blame, everyone. You can say, I'm waiting, bring the war crime court. And as they kept, you guys understand, those people that participated in the war, they say, bring it on. They say, we want to know whether we are guilty or whether we are not. So I think we'll discuss this next week. I know the Liberian people know where we are as a nation. And I don't think the president is waiting at this time to even have that conversation. All the president can do is to talk to Madam Sarif. Madam Sarif, what went wrong? Madam Sarif will say, well, because of X, Y, and Z, I thought it wise to just let it slide. And now you have it. The president should call the Vice President, Jewel Howard Taylor. The president should talk to Abuchi. The president should talk to Fonati Kofa, the Deputy Speaker, Buffer Chima, the Speaker proper, and talk to them. Ask them for the way forward. Have he called a meeting? No. He haven't. What's the essence of sending a piece of paper to say, I'm asking you guys to come over for a plan? That's a joke. And I think the president is in error. But guess what, Liberians? The president will not put foot. He will not discuss this issue about war crime court. It will be bad, very bad for his election. He will lose Nimba Kante when he talks about war crime court. If the president called any international individuals, any international body, and say, I'm ready to establish a war crime court, now, if that happens, I can tell every Liberian, the president will go down in Nimba Kante because Prince Johnson would move from behind the president. Grand Jida, folks will move from behind the president. That's the key. That's the key. So we shouldn't be on the show. People are hurt. People are hurt seriously. Every day people go back in those dark age. Every day people go back and wonder why we ever fought war. So to bring closure, to have an ease to this situation, the president have the border puppet. the president should be the one to fight for the Liberian people. The lawmakers get a letter. If you want to ratify, if you want to recast budget, if you want money, you run to the lawmakers, you squeeze them. Why can't you squeeze them this time around? So I will rest on that, and I know the best time will come for us to discuss a wonderful show. Thank you, Isaac Vi, for joining us again. A long time, the second time today. The Kev Hassan, thank you for being part of the show. Nelson Colley, thank you. You and James Goodday for producing. We'll be having a wonderful show again tomorrow. One-on-one with the CEO, and we're back on Monday as usual. May God bless you. May God keep you, and may God bless our dear country. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Let prediction real quick, Isaac. You think the World Cup now will be between who and who? Which country going to the World Cup? Kev, what's the final 2 teams? Isaac, you watch the game?
France playing Argentina, right?
That game over, man.
France and Argentina?
No, France and England. Yeah, France and England. Yeah, you're right. France and England just went off the score.
No. France playing Morocco.
Yeah. France playing Morocco.
You know what? Morocco has defensive discipline. They only have allowed 1 goal.
So who and who going?
I believe France and Morocco could go to a shootout. And because I bleed Africa, I want Morocco to win. Even though I think the blue probably got a better chance.
So who going to the final?
The final will be France and Croatia.
Are you serious? Wait a minute, France and Croatia. I remember I moved from here, man. France and Croatia where? Man, stop that thing, man.
So Argentina will beat Croatia?
Oh yeah. I don't want to show, but we want to show, but we can take loss offering. Let's bet on it. Kev, you think who's going to the final, Kev?
I most likely it will
don't
be,
say Barrow.
Most likely it will be Croatia and France, because by the discipline of Croatia, if Argentina do have a good game, they might go, but Croatia they do have some discipline. But I believe that most probably.
You think Morocco, they're going to knock Morocco out?
And let's see. The Morocco do have some injury in the defense that so anything can happen. But again, don't put your 100% money on any team in this World Cup.
No, but I think that my last 2 teams going to the World Cup, I think it will be Morocco and I'm 100% believing it will be Morocco and Argentina.
Impossible.
Morocco and Argentina. Because if you look at the way the game is played, Morocco is shining right now. They've been strong. The next team, they're going to beat France. I do believe that. No matter what, France have no team that can beat Morocco right now. And also, I'm taking Morocco because Morocco is.
But Croatia is the dark horse.
You think so?
Yeah, Croatia is.
I don't think Croatia going to pass Argentina.
They get on you before you know it, they're gone.
I don't think Croatia going to pass Argentina though.
Croatia tougher than Argentina. I think Croatia will beat them. They will rough Messi up.
You got cash out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk after the show.
We'll put listen to the game.
Good. What do you think?
I think Argentina and France will go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Listen, what do you think?
No, ask the man first whether he a Messi fan. Whether that because of Messi, he's saying Argentina.
Yeah, good that Messi friend, man. The man a Messi friend. I know that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same, Argentina and France as well. I'm not a Messi.
A real big game though.
Yeah, but I think that I'm going to stand with the Morocco and Argentina, and I believe Morocco would make Africa proud. I do believe. I put my left hand up. Morocco will make Africa proud this time around. Seriously. And Kev, you say Croatia is a dark horse, but I do believe that Argentina will beat Croatia. Again, you guys heard that one of the U.S. broadcast member died in Qatar. He died, from bronchitis. He was one of the individuals that were fighting for gay rights. A few weeks back, he had a rainbow shirt on, and he was stopped from entering the page. Then they allowed him later. Kev, I think you follow that story. Yesterday, while on the stadium, he passed out, took him to the hospital, he died. A lot of stuff is happening. But again, this is about football, and football unified the countries from all over. So we want to say that our heart goes out to him and to his family, and we wish the family well. Uh, the game is the game, and the game continue. Kude, thank you. Nelson Kula, thank you. Azivat Tukba Jr., thank you. The Honorable Kev Ahmed Hassan, we appreciate you. You have a good evening and good night.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you.
It's not a special one from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South man.
Okay, folks, we want to say thanks a lot to all of you out there. Thanks for being a part of this edition of the program Spoon Talk. Thanks to all of you who made their contributions in the comment section. To all of you who joined the program through the link that was posted under the live view. Thanks a lot. To those of you who have been listening by means of radio or watching through the different platforms, we want to say thank you. The program has been live on Fabric 101.1 FM, Super 95.5 FM, and of course Spoon 107.5 FM. We've been live on Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, Super TV Live, and Super TV Channel 10. My name is Nelson Colette. I've been here producing alongside James Good Flomo. On behalf of the team, we want to say have for yourselves a good night. The invitation to us to join this any of the different mediums tomorrow for another great edition of the program. Until that time, bye bye for now.
You want to know what happened in the ministry to Spoon?